Alright, we return once more. Hello. Once again, we are back for the Sunday Unfortunate Sons Session 45. Time is running out. Which, honestly, every time I read that, I still hear the song tagline going on in my head. But last time, as we wind back the clock for a moment to figure out what happened last session and brought us to the situation, the party started out truly leaving the party that they had, having processed through for a few days after after a few months of the whole party with Zebril and getting some time to work together, take some downtime, and really get all of their effects in order. The party would come back and find themselves wandering, heading in the direction on the map that they had been given. Almost immediately, though, finding a strange watering hole with a weird waterfall in a very serene area, the party found themselves quite suspicious. As well as without Ned, they found themselves even more concerned. As Ned, finding himself unfortunately absent for last session, as he got the very simple Kezenok situation and now is being tormented with hot chili peppers on top of it. But the party would continue looking about this beautiful and serene watering hole, trying to figure out what was going on, as they would find themselves wistfully asleep, slowly and surely, and then dreaming of a strange situation, seeing ruins all around them. They began to experience Kesnanok's livelihood and his whole backstory that he had been, up to this point, somewhat hesitant to share with the party. As the situation would go on, they'd learn more and more about what had happened to Kez and the true backstory of his situation. Him being attacked by a lich, his father being slain, and to his surprise and still concern, as he hasn't yet come to terms with it and does not yet know if it's true, his mother being the lich that attacked him. As the party would find themselves breaking away from this unfortunate nightmare, attacking the creatures that had created it, it didn't take them long to wipe free of them with flame, as the poor beast decided to attach itself onto the aura of Sun Cleric. Literally the sun glowing himself, Keznanok. With Keznok, between Keznok and Eider's fire spells, the enemies found themselves knocked down quite quickly by the party, managing to break free and get out of the strange dream. Though the session didn't end there, as they would go to investigate the cave that the creatures seemed to have been hiding in, not finding anything there that was living or undead, but instead finding a strange painting-like design that Kez was able to translate back to his own tongue from the depictions. Each of the cave paintings designed with the different chromatic dragon bloods, and a few items lying about in the cave itself. The party would decide to take up camp here for the next few days, relaxing, resting, or rather resting and catching up on catching their breath while Kez came to terms with everything that had gone on. We return back as the party has managed to find themselves on the road once more, heading out. As we come back to the morning of the 12th, on the day, or in the month of the first moon, or January, in the year 65,006. As you lot pack up camp, finishing up with everything around you. It is, at this point, almost nighttime by the time you guys have everything ready to go. Getting yourself situated and seeing the few creatures migrating. What would you all like to do? Ned still is nowhere to be seen, and as you all look about, it is a chilly, cold weather outside, the clouds coming overhead, keeping it a nice, cool 40 degrees, though thankfully no snow or rain coming down.
I'm gonna keep an eye on like the animals that are migrating, because it might give us a clue as to like what we might be coming up against in the immediate future. So remember, this place is not well researched, so it's kind of a big question mark as to what is around this particular area.
Yeah, give me a knowledge and nature, would you?
I would like nothing more. potentially. On this release, though.
Hey man, listen, it's a day, and that's just how it be.
It be how it be.
I know World Anvil is at 23. All right, perfect. As you look about, you do see a few creatures that kind of catch your attention. Seeing a few more of those bear hounds kind of moving about in a pack, seemingly chasing after a lone Chrysmal, which is similar to the creature that you all had gone on your previous hunt to find in the valley where Frosted Willy was. Seeing one of the creatures kind of just on the peripherals of the watering hole, kind of in the late evening, then scurrying off as it sees your movement heading into the forest, the bearhounds seem to, as a pack of about 4 of them, kind of go after it. A few fat snakes here and there that you recognize as the flying vipers that tend to kind of populate much of this area, kind of catch your attention, recognizing them. Thankfully, none of the Chongster dynasty, as you see a few of them. Many of them with what looks to be a little slight more of a variety of large hammer-like tails and slimmer bodies as they fly about quite quickly. Lastly, what catches your eye is a few strange-looking creatures that look almost like a goblinoid-like beast that kind of go walking about as they do. Going in a pack of about 7 of them. These things seem to have long, dangly, orangish-brown limbs with single large horns and multiple eyes kind of surrounding them. Acting almost like a goblin unit, you do see they're kind of wearing what looks to be wooden pieces of armor and beginning to kind of head off in the same direction you guys are generally going as they wander off. Beyond that, and a few blood apes that seem to kind of wander the trees here and there. Nothing else kind of catches your eye that you recognize.
Okay. They're just kind of or just like motion to the others and shrugs like, well, blood apes are still about, so trees are still off limits. Also, freaky goblins out there, man.
Hey, what else do you expect from this island?
I don't know, every day is a fresh new batch of hell.
The ring, you feel a buzz from the ring slightly at that.
I know, buddy.
Oh, no.
So, I was about to say something then. I decided not to. Because it's irrelevant. Just trying to make small talk. And I really don't.
As Kez just stares off watching this really weird-looking bird with a large branial capsule and massive wings, but a really thin and spindly body that's kind of leathery-looking, flying about, kind of plucking at one of the plants.
Give Kez the concerned side is like, I mean, up to you. If you want to talk, we're here to listen.
Nah.
Prefer to just walk and work it out until you figure out.
I mean, to be fair, I can't really, the things I want to talk about, I don't even know are really real yet. And so we're just going to leave that box sealed until I figure out more things about it.
Just kind of nod and say, fair enough. I hate doing this all the time, but when we get to somewhere you feel more comfortable, talking through it, a candle might help.
Maybe. But I'd rather focus on the job at hand.
Understandable. I just wanted to point that out. Maybe give you a little bit of hope that you're not in this alone.
No, I understand that, and I appreciate your worry.
Kind of awkwardly pat Kez's knee.
Even Kez kind of sitting down. I mean, to be fair, this cave is a little bit more cluttered, especially with Dom being a bit bigger. So, yeah, it's a quaint fit. As you kind of pat Kez's knee, the armor kind of jangling as you do.
I guess the only thing that I'm immediately concerned about is all the dragon blood that was used on that mural that we found.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of ancient-ass civilization was here beforehand, but it's some fucked up shit.
Yeah, because What, there was dragon blood on there that might have been from, some of the races of dragons that don't exist anymore.
Kind of nod. Also, there was the Triton village that either has been. I don't know if like these like the island just like collects places or if it's just a really inconvenient place for like random shit to just wind up.
Like
Because like I don't know that these places have been like are like where these things originally were from. Like the Triton village, for example, that doesn't sound likely. Granted, like I know your Sky village castle thing probably just kind of crashed here. Maybe it's hard to say.
well, that was all part of the illusion. Remember how
it wasn't actually here.
Yeah, remember we kind of all reverted back to the nice, sunny,
Serene.
strangely foresty forest that we thought was originally the illusion because it seemed too normal.
Turns out. Yeah, go ahead.
Was a total mindfuck. I still was under the impression that was not real.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It was too perfect, It's like it's too quiet type
in
of
the
deal.
background, it's just Zebril going, yes, plotting as you see, and there's just every side of you guys actually just 1,000 corpses that he's like illusioning away.
And the grass beneath our feet is surprisingly squishy feeling. I don't understand.
So well watered. But as you kind of look at kind of running your hand across the blood once more, Kez, you see as it seems to give a bit of a reaction. Give me a spellcraft check real quick.
Ooh, I'm famously good for those.
Well, I would hope so. Isn't spellcraft wisdom based, or is it int?
No.
Oh, is it int? Oh, never mind. Okay. I was gonna say
famously good for those.
Good luck.
It's the only thing Eider's got the like OP-ness on you guys for outright. Okay, I couldn't know.
Yeah, it turns out my intelligence isn't the best, so that's going to be a 5.
5. Okay, so yeah, nothing happens, Kaz. Never mind. Disregard the DM entirely. A little bit of dust kind of drops to the ground, it kind of piles up. You just kind of watch it for a moment, expecting something to happen as you stare at it. Nothing does. After a moment, you just go back to what you were doing.
Because you get the distinct impression dragon blood might be magical.
Exactly.
Well, anybody can tell you that. I just thought this was an artistic choice. Maybe, hey, Eider, dragon blood's magic and shit. Maybe you should take a look. See if there's actually any like spell shit going on here.
Fair enough. Like walk in, like poke the wall.
Give me a spellcraft check.
See, that's how we get around it.
You just call Eider over.
I can just see Kez just looks at it with a frown, then looks over at Eider, and then just like does little innocent young little guy look to him and just kind of puts on the act.
Please.
Oh, fucking 33.
Jesus Christ. As you kind of start to mess around with it, you notice that the blood does glitter slightly. A strange bit of magic kind of almost trailing out of the cave and further to the west of the where you guys are heading, seemingly in the same direction as you start to kind of watch it.
Gotcha. Does it seem like Does it like seem like a sympathetic call? Like it's calling like to like kind of a deal. Like does it seem like it is hinting at other draconic nonsense?
Yes. To answer that part, yeah, that's exactly what it seems you would get out of this. You can sense the draconic magic coming and recognizing the spell. This seems to be an older spell, very simple one, only a first level in its design. It's a kind of rougher version of light designed to link between two specific places, basically creating a light rope, if you will, to follow and guide you between two locations as needed.
Gotcha.
Follow the Dragon Brick Road.
I kind of like pick up like some of like the dust that's been like kicked down to see if I can like reverse engineer the coordinates and like magic bullshit. so we can like look it up as we're like running through the forest because it's
Okay.
kind of easy to get sidetracked.
No, that is 100% true. Yeah, as you kind of pick some up, putting some into kind of like a bag, as you kind of start to work around with it, messing with it. You're pretty sure. I mean, it'll take you roughly a day, maybe two, to get this off to be able to track it down directly following the spell. But I mean, it's going to take you a little bit of time as you kind of start messing with it. This is a very old component and very expired as you kind of mess around with it.
Yeah. Does it seem like something I could probably just like accomplish like while we're camping? Because we've got several weeks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah. It's like we've got several weeks before I think we have to worry about like being like totally off track. Because like unless we're going in the opposite direction, we're ostensibly getting closer to whatever the other end of this thing is.
Yeah, and it is dragging you west, which you guys were told to explore that direction. So.
Because like I remember like the secondary quest of this quest was not only the golem but also investigate interesting shit.
Mm-hmm. As you draw on the map a little like cheap children's dragon's skull like on the waterfall and put surprise or something along the lines.
Yep.
Shocked that this is actually legitimately part of the map and this wasn't all fake.
I just like amuse myself as like the Stack Overflow memes where it's just like my code and it's like here's like the Stack Overflow code is like perfectly drawn giraffe is like my code and it's like a block on top of it.
Yep.
It's like my drawing on the professional fucking app.
Exactly. As you kind of take a moment, draw it out, putting the blood away, taking some of the dirt from the cave to get some of the extra components, making sure you have a little bit of everything in case there's anything specific. Takes you about another 5 minutes as you all watch this, as Kez and Eider kind of work on this together, getting this set up. Dom, while you watch this, kind of sitting at the entrance to the cave as you are kind of hunched over watching some of the creatures migrating past as nightfall kind of continues. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I feel like Dom's kind of just keeping watch.
Okay.
I already copied the like prophecy paintings last session.
Yes.
And there's nothing Dom can really do as far as like identifying the dragon's blood or any of that stuff. So, I think Dom's just keeping a watch out.
Okay.
Trying to see if like the terrain starts shifting, trying to like see if there's any other like stuff unnoticed in the cave we're at, like just like that.
Give me a
I'm
search
just
check.
keeping my eyes out.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping my eyes peeled for
anything?
more shenanigans.
Oh, then here, instead of a search, let's make it a spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say general shenanigans. If things are changing, if there's a sign of us being followed, you know, like that.
So
in
anything
general,
that
like,
could be suspicious. I got you.
Basically, if there's anything that's more than like a blade of grass moving,
So
yeah.
Kez forgot to clip his nails, and you realize that's suspicious in the background as you stare at him.
28. Those nails need done, boy.
No. As you watch, kind of as Kez and Eider work, kind of getting some of the bits of blood, working kind of, and Kez kind of explaining a bit more about what he's seeing there as he kind of looks over his notes from what he's written down. Looking outside, you see, as those creatures, the ones that Eider kind of pointed out as weird goblins, seem to kind of, one of them seems to be watching you lot, as you see his eyes kind of glimmering from one of the trees that he's kind of loosely hanging from. Staying about 5 feet-ish in length in total as the thing stretches out. It just seems to kind of watch you, and as your eyes kind of lock, it seems to jump down from the tree and go into the bush and run off, vanishing entirely. After a few moments, thankfully nothing else kind of catches your attention other than the occasional strange fish that kind of pops out of the little lake that's kind of in the waterfall, or next to the waterfall.
Dom's gonna prep Splinter Shard to just have ready, so if like a group of those start charging at the cave, he can like open fire.
Yeah,
so I'm just gonna get my long range weapon out real quick.
Yeah, as you start to kind of pull it out, get the thing ready, getting your stepping out of the cave a little bit to kind of get your full stance up in front of the waterfall, just so that way you can kind of get a full throw. Yeah, all As you step out, Kez and Eider, you both see as Dom kind of steps out of the cave. As you kind of finish up grabbing everything, getting out their sling and their ammo splinter shard itself, kind of as the thing begins to whirl a little bit in the air.
Everything good?
We're being watched by the local wildlife. I don't know if it's aggressive yet, but I suggest we try not to draw much more attention.
I
Agreed.
look down at my glowing self, clad in the heaviest, noisiest armor known
Yeah.
to man.
Yep.
Yeah,
I just go-
Dumbledore.
I'll get right on that one.
I will say,
Look at the
Dom.
quiet. I've seen it.
It's interesting as you've been as you step out. Surprisingly, Kez and Eider's armor movements have been quieter than the very loud wildlife that seems to be making full noise as you hear hunting and prowling kind of far into the forest itself, good ways off, but seems to be echoing loudly through the trees. It's not a quiet night. Surprisingly, you haven't really heard Eider or Kez's armor movements at all.
Good. This bodes well.
Papa Z, is that you?
Eider looks out and says as he hears a loud gorilla bubbling as something runs off into the trees.
I mean, I also wouldn't be surprised. It's not like we're consistently marching out right now. We're kind of just getting a little. We're kind of in place right now, correct?
Yes, correct. You're just standing in. Are you at Kez and Eider are still inside the cave while Dom stands outside of it in front of the waterfall?
Yeah, and there's also a waterfall falling in front of us. So even if we were making some noise, that waterfall is also fucking loud.
Yes,
Yeah.
very. And I will note, you are, as you've kind of been watching for the last day, at a very popular watering hole. Creatures have been coming up even when they've seen you guys sticking out of the cave, not caring.
Now, is it like it's the water truce? People come to drink water. No one fights each other.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No.
No, you
Oh,
do see
okay.
predators. The bear hounds have been kind of staying on the outskirts watching for creatures, the snakes as well. Yeah, no, there's
Secret
plenty.
Freshwater alligator somewhere.
Sadly, as you look in, the water is clear. It's just a few large fish, but some of them have almost
Wow.
entire bodies that are filled with teeth and large mouths. It's not exactly something you would want launching onto your face, as you kind of look down at it. But
I mean, given my height, they'd be grabbing at my legs. I don't want that.
Be
I
like
don't
a
want piranhas
starfish.
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But as you
Yeah,
kind of
man.
watch this, a few moments going by, none of the creatures seem to pop back out as you kind of keep your eyes out, Dom. A few creatures kind of seem to pop out of the trees, a few blood apes here and there. What you see is looking like a bright yellow-looking spider with 4 legs. Kind of seems to poke its head out of one of the bushes, stares at you, and then turns and goes back into the trees, disappearing.
Sorry, yellow spider.
Yes, correct.
Fucking non-flashbacks.
What does that mean?
Better not mean what it fucking otherwise means. Stand the fuck away from those guys.
As you kind of bring up, as you're kind of whispering back, Dom, what you're seeing, you see Kez, as you look down, you see Eider's eyes kind of go wide as he remembers a specific book reading about a hive of spellgaunts back home that were very dangerous and terrifying to the local Slotty population. But as you continue finishing up, about another half hour goes by as you guys get the rest of this wrapped up, and as you kind of get your camp cleaned fully, it's now dark out enough. Scartsmander did warn you lot to travel kind of intermittently at day and night to never set a kind of what was a pattern of sorts for creatures to follow. As you lot kind of find yourselves standing outside now, the cave's still warm and inviting. What would you lot like to do?
Oh, time to head out.
Alright. As you 3 continue on, yes, Kez?
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay, fair enough. As the 3 of you continue heading out and off towards the direction of the glimmering bit of light that seems to be guiding you, thankfully in the same direction. One of you give me a spot, one of you give me a listen, one of you give me a search check as you start going through. And I can guess who's doing who.
My spawn and listen are both +10, so I can do whatever.
Well,
Yeah, as long as I'm not doing. Eider is definitely doing search.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Eider
you
being
know.
the intelligence class probably should take the
No,
hit
guys, I
base.
got this with
Oh.
what's my +5?
So, 13.
Oh,
Okay.
Is Dom gonna be doing listen or spot?
I think last time we did this, I did spot, didn't I? Do you want to just swap?
Yeah, I mean that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, I'll do
Keep
spot
it,
this time.
keep it fair.
Okay.
I'm keeping my ears out.
Okay.
Occurs to me I should really put some ranks in search.
Or get Ned to come back.
17.
21.
21, okay.
Oh.
As you keep your eyes out, Eider, mostly focusing on the magic to follow the trail as you continue through. A few hours going by and kind of focusing on that. Thankfully, it's easy to follow it at night as it kind of glimmers somewhat, catching your attention even further down, as you can see it almost for half a mile for how bright it is. Though, unfortunately, as your eyes kind of focus in on it, it becomes a little harder to notice the creatures in the darker edges of the forest that kind of find themselves at the edge of your peripheral. But that's why you have Dom and Kez around, who kind of walk behind you, keeping their eyes and ears out. As Dom kind of listening about, as they keep their ears open. Dom, you hear more and more growls and strange kind of noises of what sounds like prowling beasts, but nothing seemingly coming closer. And Kez, as you kind of watch, noticing, you see something that catches your eye. As you look and see a snowbeard about 10 feet from you, standing in the forest, skulls kind of adorning his beard, a few gemstones with some very simple lead rings kind of covering it, bright, piercing blue eyes, and what looks to be almost a pirate's attire as he seems to be walking almost alongside you, not seemingly noticing you.
Not a man trap, right?
As you look, kind of watch behind his trail for a moment, see if he has a tail of some sort, you confirm it is not a man trap, thankfully.
Alright, sick. That first thing to come to mind.
Also, he's not visibly green.
That is correct. He is tan or kind of almost pale of skin, like whitish, like a actual snowbeard.
Albino man trap then.
You know, hey, it's a fair question. You know, always check for tails when you see people.
Also, because I didn't know what the full description of the man traps from your guys' first fight, since I wasn't there.
That's fair. You did get kidnapped.
When they were impersonating people. So.
Yeah. Nope, that's fair. He got kidnapped, so he's going off what you guys told him, and all understanding as he looks at it, kind of taking a second, not seeing the green skin. He Kez kind of realizes quite quickly.
Alright, sick.
I can almost guarantee, because he's on this island, he's immune to fire.
God
hey,
damn.
that might be only in certain regions of the island. Who knows?
That's true. That's true.
Because I mean, it's a pretty fucking big. All right. So what are you? So what are we gonna do about this guy? You just gonna talk to him?
As Kez kind of nudges Eider and Dome, pointing him out.
This can't.
Oh, what the shit?
Yeah. Well, he's been walking again next to us for like the past 2.5 hours. I don't know what. I thought since you guys didn't say anything, you were cool with it.
What? No, I've been listening. I haven't been looking at shit.
Wait, you couldn't hear his steps?
No, he's silent, which is why this is a bad sign.
He might be a ghost.
Oh shit.
Alright, you're gonna go check if he's a ghost. How are you gonna check if he's a ghost?
Knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge?
Just
Alright.
hand.
Give me a knowledge nature real quick.
Actually, ghosts are knowledge religion.
Sir, that is not. That is only the case if the undead are attached to a specific god, and I have no god that's technically listed as undead.
24.
24. As you kind of look at him, it's not. As you kind of like take a second watching him, it doesn't fit the traditional ghost, as ghosts have a tendency to. While trying to mirror and fake or look like real people, there's always a tell as they know they're dead, as most ghosts are lacking in that ability to hide that factor. And looking him up and down, it doesn't seem he's dead, that he is undead in any way. And as you finally get tired of it, just taking the tried true effort, picking up a rock and chucking it at him, it goes right through and nothing seems to happen, as it just seems to fall to the ground. The Snowbeard continuously walking as if nothing happened, nothing attached him. He's definitely no ghost.
He's obviously a puppet on a journey to become a real boy.
I will say, what catches your attention is, given the last creature you guys had to deal with was some sort of illusionary master of psionics, there's a good chance this might be some other creature trying to prey on your memories or using something of the island to try and lure you into a trap.
Either. Does this look like a relative at all?
No.
I actually will say,
Pirate
Eider,
Snowbeard?
give me a knowledge nobility.
Oh shit!
God damn
Ah,
it.
you thought
Your-
you didn't recognize him.
I did
Either,
think.
your backstory is next. It's your turn.
19.
19. So, Eider, you do recognize this individual, though at first it takes a minute. This is a young version of your father. This is, and I am not going to try and pronounce this because I made this as much later on, because we didn't come up with a backstory, you just kind of gave me a general idea, and we worked up some stuff. The guy, well, at least the guy who claims to be your father, Bjarn Garnaland of Clan Treasurehorn, though he looks young. Now, I will note, Eider, to you, you know this is not your father. Your father was a very low member of the Treasurehorn branch that was basically insignificant. But due to your past, of course, as you recall, and your somewhat of abilities, you were kind of recognized quite quickly by your clan and picked up by one of the more favorable sons who were going to have a chance at inheriting. So while father is a loose term, as you kind of recognize this individual.
Yarn Garnalad.
Got
how
you
do
say
you
like the
spell
guy
that?
that is in charge of my conception is not the same guy that raised me.
Correct. And to say this guy raised you would also be even a very looser term, as you would be mostly raised by tutors and guards.
I was in his house.
Yes, you were recognized
Yeah,
as his, but
yeah.
as beyond like noble events, I mean, you talked to him maybe once.
By blood, yeah, he was your father, but he ain't your daddy.
Yeah. He paid your bills. That's it.
I like to think
He's
about
paying
it
for your college tuition.
Right. Good.
I like to think about it for a moment, like rub my beard, like, huh. And like kind of like gesture like with my hand and just like send out a cone of hold monster to see if it anything like drops and like fucking like blast it towards this guy.
As you do, taking a moment, what is the save for hold monster? Out of curiosity.
25.
Oh no, I meant like what am I rolling? Will?
Oh, sorry, Will.
I'll say, good to know what the DC is. Okay. As you send out something, the hand kind of going out, nothing is grabbed. As you kind of look, expecting a creature to be kind of grabbed, there's nothing there. But the illusion starts to kind of slightly shift as you start to kind of catch on. Something changes, and as you see two other figures begin to come into view, you see what looks to be two rather large-looking fire giants. What looks to be an individual who, as you recognize Dom, immediately recognize Folkvi herself.
Yep.
As well as a secondary figure that Kez and Eider, you recognize the similar features of Absalom, the unfortunate cadaver that you had to put down way back in the church that Kez had taken over. As the two of them seem...
Wait, Absalom, you mean Dom's dad?
Correct.
Yep.
As you see the three of them kind of come up to each other, you see Bjarn Garnaland kind of speaking up and looking up at them as they seem to say a few words between the three of them. And as they come to a nod and an agreement a moment later, you see what looks to be a strange covered figure with bright green skin, thick, heavy, dark black and moss kind of covering all of their features, a long staff filled with what looks to be bones and bits of monsters kind of dangling from it, and walks into it. bring back their hood and what looks to be Ned. It's Ned exactly.
In his spider monkey self, or before he was
Before his spider monkey. Yeah, my apologies. That'd be a lot scarier.
Yeah, I feel like that needed to be answered.
Yeah, fair enough. As you see, the original Ned in his Jolly Green Giant face, looking a bit older but wiser and smiling as he seems to talk amongst these three figures.
These guys suck at weaving a narrative. We don't know each other. Our dads never met. Come on now.
Well, how would you know that?
I'm pretty sure your dad died before, my, and I air quote, father was born.
Well, my dad's not in this.
No, he's.
Oh, I just assumed because there was two fire giants. One of them was yours.
Nope. You
No.
You saw mine.
It is my father and then another figure who is a woman. So there's no father.
Dom just kind of looks at them, staring at the female giant, kind of a little bit angry, I imagine, on her on his face.
I mean, I think Dom's of the belief that these are probably just illusions, so these aren't real. But he definitely is giving the new feminine figure a stink eye that he's not giving his father.
I will say,
I mean, there was still just going back, there's probably things about these illusions that aren't true, but based on mine, there is some modicum of truth to these illusions.
I don't think there's a single bit for this one.
As you and I are looking over at this thing, have almost kind of contemplating if this is real. You see as your father seems to come into the scene. As you kind of watch, that's you, Kez. A small you, maybe about a year old, as you look at the tiny held bundle in your father's arms, as he walks over and hands what looks to be a pair of beautiful blue gemstone earrings to the female fire giant that's kind of standing there. And kind of smiles as they seem to again continue talking amongst now the group of them, laughing, joking about something that can't be heard.
Can I attempt to, with my since I was listening earlier, can I attempt to listen in on what they're saying? Dom is very focused on trying to hear what's actually going on in this apparent vision. Memory or whatever this is supposed to be.
Give me a listen check.
All right. 20.
20? Okay.
20.
As you hear, or as you kind of focus to try and hear, you realize there is no sound to this spell that seems to continue after a moment. It's silent. Their lips are moving and saying things, but there's no speaking, no laughter that you can hear as you get closer, trying to get your ears to catch any sound. There's nothing that kind of sounds like people discussing. You hear the prowling of beasts in the distance, the occasional rustle of a few bushes as a little brain lizard goes running by, but nothing else catches your attention.
Hey, do you know how to read lips?
I don't think I have a specific skill for it. No.
Pretty sure it's decipher script. It would be bluff.
I mean, my
theoretically,
bluff
based off
is...
of passing a secretive message.
I mean, my bluff and
correct.
my...
It'd be sense motive. It would be a sense motive to read their what they're saying.
Sense motive.
Yeah, feel free.
I'll
I haven't
go
done
ahead
it in
and do it as
forever.
well.
Okay.
Wow, a Dom without their sense motive? What
That's
even
why
are
Dom's
you?
been so off his game, dude.
I know, right?
That'll be what was my sense motive? Oh, it's down there. A dirty 20.
Okay.
Oh, nice. I had 25.
25. Alright. Ida, who does not believe a bit of this, as any of it being real or anything of the sort, as he watches this, Kaz and Dom
One must
completely
be
cautious. Kez, as you kind of watch, what are you trying to gather? Are you just trying to see if there is a secret message, or are you trying to discern something else to make clear?
My goal is to trying to try to figure out what they're actually saying.
Okay. As you kind of watch the scene and see them laughing amongst each other, you get a couple of words here and there that kind of catch your attention. One that kind of catches your eye, that kind of speaks to you immediately, is your father keeps saying something about a lich. The Ned figure seems to nod along, something about a sacrifice as you kind of watch their lips. The small snowbeard that is, air quotes, Eider's father, seems to look up and speak to them and say something about mana, Oventium. It's hard to tell, but he's speaking some sort of language that you don't recognize fully. It's hard to catch. The others look on confused, and then you see as the female fire giant kind of speaks up and says, the Grunaga sacrificial tower. As you catch, but you don't catch what she says after, as it kind of goes back, it dissipates. It's too hard to kind of catch as they're speaking quite fast, switching between languages quite quickly, as you notice, of giant, dwarvish, and something else. As you continue kind of watching this, Kez, Dom, you catch a few more words between the lot of them. You hear a small bit more, rather catch a small bit more of what Ned says. Something about a prophecy. Those who follow the son are doomed to repeat the mother's mistake. But nothing else kind of catches your eye, as the rest of it seems to split between different languages that you don't speak.
Can I make some kind of religion check to determine if I can gather via context clues of the conversation if by the mother they mean Ella Ugbo?
Sure, give me a religion check.
I don't think my religion's that high, but let me double check my bonus. Do knowledge. Oh yeah, it's just a little bonus. Just a 10.
Just a 10. I will say, as you look over, you do see on the little baby Kez bundle, there is a symbol that matches exactly the one that Kez wears around his own neck.
Okay. So probably that's what they mean. Can I also, with that same religion check, or with whatever check would be applicable, try to recall what Dom would know about, like, what a Granaga sacrificial tower is? I've heard, like, the sacrificial tower, like, used as, like mentioned before, basically. But I'm trying to figure out if that's the same tower or if this is a different one.
I assume it's the storm giants.
Yeah, with your background with Utham, and with a 10 in knowledge religion, it is a common thing amongst the storm giants that they have a belief that to become stronger is to sacrifice slaves and those that they've captured to prove their power to the gods and the almighties that they look to. Though no descriptors ever given to who they are sacrificing to, just that they seem to offer. And this sacrificial tower of the Grunagas, Utham had mentioned it being a valuable item at one point, something about Faltharn having it, but not much else beyond that.
Okay. Noted. If there's nothing else that gets caught,
Nope.
I would probably mention the prophecy out loud to at least Kez, because that seems important. So yeah, Dom kind of looks at Kez. Do you think by the mother's mistake they mean your goddess?
I do not know. Could be the goddess, could be my own mother. To be frank, I wasn't that. I mean, of course, there's things that we do not know of when we are, but babes. But for all of my knowledge, I never left the storm giant, castle that I was a part of until, many years later. This illusion depicts me as being very young.
I was not aware of my father having gone to the Storm Giant lands, but I'm afraid my knowledge of his history is not as informed as it would have been if he had lasted longer. But I don't think this is true. I think there might be something trying to give us a message that is real, but I don't think the image itself is real. There's too much that just does not make sense. For one, Ned is older, but he's not himself. He's missing the graft, and he's also missing his tramp stamp on the back.
Well,
So
it
this
just simply
is-
looks like a Ned before everything happened, or perhaps a relative of Ned.
Hmm.
Maybe someone from his grove.
What are they all green? Tom looks him up and down.
Well, I've never met another one of Ned's groves, so I couldn't tell you.
As you think back for a moment, Kez and Dom, having traveled with Ned longer than either, and for almost your entire adventure here, Ned, every time you brought up his grove, has always almost pushed it off as a subject, avoiding it too much to discuss about. He's never given you many details as you start to realize. He really hasn't ever spoke much of his home.
He's been so busy trying to get enough funds to start his own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's also part of the reason why I'm like discrediting it as a vision is because Ned didn't have parents. He was raised by wolves. We got that out of him. So it's like if it's
Yeah.
feeding off of our information about Ned, then it's just showing us Ned. Because
was
we
Ned
don't know
being-
anything else.
Well, was Ned being honest with us?
Well, even if he wasn't, we don't know better. So it can't show us something that we don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that whatever's being shown us to here is 100% legit. Like, I never, as far as I know, I never left the Storm Giant lands until I was already 36.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's like I'm pretty sure it's just trying to show us like service level information that it knows that it can glean from like, you know, trying to read our minds and stuff like that, just to like draw us in or trip us up. Like this
I
still
mean,
I don't
feels like
think
an
that
ambush.
prophecy means anything. That's
Either-
one.
Is this illusion magic similar to the draconic blood stuff that we're tracking?
No, it seems psionic. Otherwise, it's close enough. Like my son's here would probably react to it, and I'd get like a little bit of pushback. Seems, honestly, it seems similar to like greater image from the arcane systems of magic, but you know, dealing with
That was-
the psionic
you know.
version of things.
Kind of just wondering if it was, the magic that's used to make this is more related to probably the dragon stuff, or what we had just recently went through with my own history.
As Kez looks down at his shadow really quickly, like kicking some dirt to see if it moves at all. Thankfully, it does not, as it stays the same.
I'll bring out the sun again. Don't make me. I'll fucking do it.
Study D.
I'm well
Crazy,
rested.
man. I'm fucking insane, man.
I brought
do
the
it.
sun once. I'll do it again.
I've killed. I'll kill again.
Yeah. I do like just to make absolutely sure. Like this doesn't feel like any kind of arcane magic going on, does it?
Give me a spellcraft.
No.
Yeah, all my conversation was just trying to get you to do a spellcraft check.
No, that's fair. 37.
37. As you kind of take a second looking about, it is not arcane. It is definitely, you recognize this as some sort of psionic magic, though you're not familiar enough with what it is. The only thing you're sure of is, at least this time, you're not asleep.
Yay! Yeah, I do upgrade. Is like So upside is not asleep. Double upside, that's just psionic magic.
Sick. So do we just ignore it?
Should we be concerned what's making it?
I mean, it's trying.
Everyone,
to get
check
us
your
up.
shadows. I checked
Okay.
mine. You should check yours.
I like check my shadow, like just like making a show of it, but like I'm pretty sure that was the apex monster and is likely not plural.
Could have had offspring.
As you look down, kind of making sure none of you notice anything, give me a sense motive if you're really concerned about it.
I'm sense motivating my own shadow.
Hey, you're
It's
welcome
happening
too.
fast.
What if you get scared? It's gonna be a couple more weeks of spring or something.
14. I rolled really, really low.
14. Well, good news. Your shadow does not seem to give off any signs that it is not your
Right.
shadow.
I am a shadow now. What if it's inside of me?
Dom, you are not that black.
Oh my god.
I thought you described it literally as like pitch like night black. When
No,
I
I described it as under the bed black, but then I got I
Oh.
got told that's not appropriate.
It's not about race.
Oh boy.
It's not. It's about darkness.
They're not even that black.
Exactly. This is a magical thing. This is called for giants.
It's advanced darkness.
Exactly. But as you kind of look about, testing doesn't seem to, nothing seems to happen. As you guys kind of continue your light walk, the illusion, assumedly, or from what you're assuming, continuing to kind of follow along as the group seems to walk and seems to be making a few casual comments here and there, but nothing kind of catches your attention. Though something at the end does for Kez and Dom as I roll this. One thing slips between their words. The name, as you see the fire giant holding a baby Kesnanok go, or say something, the others seem to give a laugh, and then the short dwarf goes, "You should call the child Kesnanok." And you see as the rest kind of nod at that and smile, and one of them seems to speak. You hear again as one speaks in Dwarvish. Dom and Kez, do either of you speak Dwarvish by chance?
I don't think I do. I'm checking now.
Yes, allow me to. I'm almost certain the answer is no, but allow me to look at my languages real quick.
No worries, take a second.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause let's see here.
Either realizing he's gonna have to teach
my
everyone
common
Dwarvish.
Draconic. Yeah, I don't speak Dwarvish.
Okay.
So here's the 38th
And-
word for rock.
Yeah, right?
But how do I know the difference between all the?
Yeah,
37
unfortunately, the only languages I know are Common, Giant, and Celestial.
Damn.
Then you have the
Yep.
language round.
As you, what was that, Eider?
I was reminding Kez about the language item that you picked up.
Oh, yes, hold on. Let me take a swift look at that if I actually had Dwarvish.
I thought you did at some point.
I know. Because since our dear Eider can speak Dwarvish, I didn't put it on my crystal necklace of languages. For those ones, I have Infernal, Draconic, Primordial, Sylvan, and Primitive.
Damn. Oh. Poor Eider will never get to speak his native tongue. But as you watch, something is kind of spoken to in Dwarvish between the group of them, and they seem to laugh more as they continue walking.
Who actually recommended that my name should be Kesnanok? Which of the figures?
The Snowbeard.
Hey, Eider, there's this, word in Dwarvish that I don't know. Here, allow me to try and replicate that sound for you. I'm sorry if I butcher your language.
Sound? You were reading lips, mate.
I know, and I'm gonna...
No!
And I'm going to try to replicate that with sound.
Okay, give me a charisma check. We're gonna see how well you do.
Hell yeah!
I mean, Tom has proficiency performance, but I'm not even gonna try to roll it because I want to see how this this goes.
Alright, let me...
Go.
Let me see, I believe, because I have a +5 to my charisma checks, because I got a 20. So let's see how we go here. That is a 19 for a 24.
You know, Kez manages to, as he kind of manages to say it a few times, he kind of changes himself, coughing a few times to get the words right, and finally actually says Kesnanok perfectly in Dwarvish. And as you would know it, Eider, the way he speaks it means one who was born to be pretty.
You're just saying your
Yeah,
name.
so what does it mean?
Yeah, that's your name.
Oh. Well, why didn't you just say Kesnanok?
Well, it means one who was born to be pretty.
As Kez goes quiet, blankly staring at you for a moment.
That's a weird thing for your alleged father to be asking to name a kid.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, that is
Did he have an affinity for baby oil?
Not that I'm aware of. I didn't really talk to him. Also, and I like gestured to like the cloud of bullshit. That's still just total bullshit. Like, I feel like that proves it if nothing else did.
Hey man, all I'm saying is the last illusion there was truth in it. I don't know.
Yeah, that was from like an apex monster of ancient origin. These are some
Yeah.
random fuck ass psionic
So-
creatures. Probably the weird
If this-
goblin things.
If this is a trap for us, I do want to mention that sitting here and standing here and watching is likely.
Oh, I thought
part
we were
of
walking.
what
this
No,
entire
yeah,
time.
we are
Yeah,
walking.
so I was
No,
under
Yeah.
the assumption we were also walking.
A slow walk, yes, but yeah, the party is
Oh.
moving. Yeah.
Okay, good. I was like, are we just
Mhm.
sitting here like completely still in a forest full of monsters?
Listen,
No.
I do not intend on this being a psionic version of trying to figure out how to get through the unlocked door.
I
Like,
think it's
I
just a mind fuck.
this thing is that's happened to this party. Yeah,
Just
no.
the DM toying with our backstories.
It is. As you lot continue walking though through the night, after about another half a mile of walking, the illusion seems to almost vanish completely, dissipating from view and kind of stopping its following, if you will. Nothing else really said, just some light laughter here and there, a few little side comments, but nothing of importance as you kind of watch. As day breaks, the sun kind of catching overhead, the clouds clearing, and the heat coming back, starting to warm up to a nice balmy 50 degrees. You guys have been walking roughly about 8 hours or so at this point, as you manage to finally come along what looks to be a surprisingly beautiful sea cliff edge, kind of looking down, seeing what looks to be a long indent of water coming into the island almost entirely. You can see the salted ocean kind of blasting against the sides of the rather large, what you realize is almost a massive ravine that kind of cuts into the island as you lot continue following along it.
Guys, do your best not to fall.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Kez, as you look down, give me a quick spot check.
Sick, I like spot checks. I'm decent at them. That'll be a 11.
Looking down amongst the rocks and the very sharpened edges of this kind of reef, if you will, this cliffside, you start to notice a few creatures kind of down at the very bottom, about 200 or so feet below where you're standing, as you kind of guesstimate. What looks to be these large purple tentacled creatures with massive craniums and big golden bug-like eyes seem to kind of look up at you. A few of them kind of beginning to climb out of the water and seemingly staring at you as they just watch. A few strange noises that sounds like bubbles kind of popping seems to come from them as they make it quite loud, and a few of them start fighting amongst each other, pushing and smacking each other with their craniums.
Interesting. Well, hey, if I do fall off, I can always cast Airwalk on myself.
As you see the strange, large octopi staring up at you.
And I
let's
definitely
pick up.
don't want to be down there.
Yeah, that didn't look good.
As you continue your walking, though, a few more hours go by before you lot finally find a nice place to set up kind of camp. A small clearing that kind of seems to have been cut away by some of the goblins that used to live in the area. As you find some old, simple stone axes that have been here for quite a while. Some of the trees starting to just slightly grow back as their stumps turn into saplings. As you begin to kind of set up camp, looking about. Who's going to take watch for their first one?
When going on watch, is it because that's spot and listen, right, or is it search and listen?
That is up to you. It's one of the three. Search is for something specific if you have in mind. Spot is for anything general. Listen is also for anything in general.
I thought we pass around Kez's hat while we sit on lunch.
His mask is plus 10 to search competence,
No.
I think it was.
No,
No, that's Ned's mask. Never mind.
my hat, my crown gives a blind sense up to 30 feet.
That's it. Yes.
I thought. Oh, I don't think I get blind sense. I just get. the ability to see invisibility,
Yeah, you do not.
picture sight.
So I mean, I guess I'll take first watch since I mean, my spot and listen, I mean, are
Mhm.
+7, and I also have the blind sense to 30 feet.
Okay. All right.
Works for me.
So you're up first. Okay. Give me a spot or a listen check.
That'll be a natural 1
Uh huh.
for
For
a 6,
and
and
listen or
I guess
spot.
we'll just do spot.
Okay.
I mean, I have the same bonus to both, so it could be either or.
As you lot kind of finish up eating, kind of kicking up some rations, Eider opening his demi-plane up to its full size to let you kind of squeeze in, as you really don't have tents amongst you that you use. You just have squeezed into Eider's fortress and feel yourselves rejuvenated as you work on his forge. Like the slave master he
Slept in
is.
months.
Yeah. Eider doesn't let
Haven't
you lot
slept in
sleep.
years.
Yeah, at nighttime or sleeping time is the time for crafting, as Eider declares it. There is no rest. But as Dom and Eider find themselves kind of heading within, kind of going to work about their training and working amongst crafting as they do. Kez, as you kind of sit outside, poking at the small fire, it's mostly cinders at this point, kind of watching. You see a Snowbeard-looking figure, kind of round, quite wide, about Eider's height, maybe a little taller, in bright blue armor that kind of glimmers as the sun kind of begins to set around roughly 8 a.m. ish. Not set, sorry, rise. As you see this individual, he seems to be only about 20 or so feet from you, with his back turned towards you, seemingly talking to two other figures as they chat. As you notice, looking up, two figures that aren't hiding themselves whatsoever. One, a tall, good-looking, rugged individual with tan skin and brown hair, wearing a beautiful green silken suit, and another that looks to be a older female Snowbeard of sorts, wearing what looks to be a mix of leather and an amalgamation of pieces of tree. Kind of seem to be talking amongst themselves. A strange-looking goblinoid figure kind of walking in amongst them and beginning to talk, as he looks to be dressed almost like an L.A. noir detective, kind of chatting amongst them as you look over.
What the fuck is that kind of outfit? That's strange.
As you kind of watch them, you begin hearing the conversation somewhat pick up, and the individual in blue armor go, "God damn that Eider! I knew we should have killed him before the clans came together. Who would have thought they would have named him king?" As you kind of watch, you see the other two figures kind of nod along to it, kind of sympathetically. The blue armored figure kind of seems to continue speaking. Goes, he said he didn't want it. He goes gallivanting off to an island, leaves me all the responsibility of dealing with these goddamn demons. I got a fucking eye that lets me see things that shouldn't be possible. And my uncle's been turned into my aunt. God, who knows what's gonna happen to you? As he gestures to the figure in the green suit and goes, next thing, he's probably gonna snip your balls off and end up feeding them to you because he doesn't come out here. As the figures continue to seemingly talk, the sound kind of fades slightly as you kind of watch this, Kez.
Weird. Must be some other things not to pay attention to. It's just lies and fibs. Right? Right.
Kez kind of giving himself a pep talk as he watches this unravel, looking for like a ghost or something that's gonna try and possess him as he kind of holds his unconsciously holds his what do you call it, your holy symbol. There we go. Looking for the
You're a
word.
king? Ain't no way.
As you continue to listen in, it goes kind of quiet after that as the vision seems to dissipate, the figures kind of vanishing as you watch Kez, and nothing else kind of catching your attention for the next couple hours. Till around roughly 10 o'clock when it's time to kind of switch off watch, after being on watch for about 4 hours. would you like to do?
Alright, Dom, you're on watch.
Okay. You
Alright.
come in, looking at Dom, seeing Ida working away at something as the two of them kind of work away, crafting at something between the two of them. Stepping in as you see Kez kind of letting you know, Dom, as you kind of step up.
Yeah, I'll take watch.
And then, of course, when I'm with Ida, I'll tell him about the very interesting little vision that I saw, just because I think it was funny that there's a group of people talking about trying to kill him before he became the alleged king of the land or something. I don't know.
Ida, as you are described this, do you need me to explain who this was, or do you have a pretty good idea who this was?
He's like, oh, it's my fucking cousin.
Yeah, there's a weird goblin in a trench coat. I thought that was odd.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know what a trench coat is. It was just really weird. It just the word just came to my mind. I was like,
Why
yeah,
would
that's what
Coach
that
be in the
is.
trenches.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, what the hell is that? And just in my mind, it's like fedora and trench coat. I was like, whoa. Shit, I didn't even know those were fashion options.
Fedora sounds like some ancient god. We should be cautious.
It must be like that fit was out of this world, almost timeless, if you will.
Something tells me this is a mystery we need to solve.
I begin shoving them both out of my face.
I thought you were gonna say I begin strangling.
As Ida walks over the door, shuts the forge so Dom can't feed Kez anymore like this as the two go back to working.
It's
You
like I
can't
cracked the
keep me
whip.
out forever.
Dom, like a cat that's been sent out because you were meowing at night, you find yourself alone in the quietness of the outdoors.
Well, I didn't want in before, but now that I'm locked out, I really want into the, in the forge. What
Well,
the hell?
you're on watch now, anyways. So I'm gonna take a nap.
As Kez,
I'm on watch.
As Kez goes into his trance, Dom, go ahead and give me either a spot, a listen, or a search check, please.
Well, definitely not search. I will do, since I got bad on my listen, I will do spot instead. 15.
15. Okay. As you begin to hear some whisperings on the wind, Dom, you hear, it's strange. It's all in giant, and it seems to keep kind of catching you as you look about. The daylight kind of playing tricks as the shadows get longer, the higher the sun seems to get up into the air, which seems strange as you kind of watch. But looking about, you hear a continuous and giant failure, weakling. The death of Utham's your fault.
Mm.
The king will fall to you, and you will see him dead. Long live Domnander, the slayer of Utham. As the voices continue kind of chanting this lightly. Dom, give me a will save.
Oh no! I was gonna ask to make a sense motive, but the will save scares me. Is this enchantment? School of enchantment at all?
No, this is not, sadly.
Oh no! The fact that it's not fear or charm is. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Uh oh. Well, I'll tell you my total. My total's a 12. I got on the die a natural 1. That's narrative storytelling, folks.
As you look out, Dom, kind of watching, the forest seems to kind of bleed away. And suddenly you find yourself sitting on a throne in a beautiful icy mountain. Frost giants all around chanting your name, calling you Domnander the Conqueror. As you look down, a long blue carpet kind of gleaming with silver that seems to act as almost a runway for prisoners, as you see Froten in chains, a stone golem that looks to be carved quite exquisitely, that wizard you had been speaking to not long ago at Uther or at Zebral's party in the hot springs, and then Utham, beaten, bruised, and bloody, being held down, and who would it be holding him down? But as you look up and see Bolov, smiling, his belly still is rotund, the smell of curdled milk kind of airing in the air as he opens his mouth, and you hear the call for quiet. As Bolov kind of steps forward, another guard grabbing Utham. As Utham looks up at you, his body cut up, torn, one of his eyes completely missing, his scythe slightly lodged into his back. He is in extreme pain as he looks up at you and grimaces with anger. And Bolov goes, King Regan, Grand Regan Domnander, the first of Rimperser's last hold, the traitorous, lecherous, horrible individual known as former Regan Utham, is before you. He who betrayed the giants, sold us to the dragons, handed our livelihoods to them, all in the exchange for power beyond what he or any of his ancestors have ever achieved. You, as the conqueror, the savior, who managed to do this, even with the assistance of the unfortunate son, still are recognized now as our one and true ruler of all giant kind. What would you have us do with such a traitor, my Grand Regan?
I want to know, in this vision, does Domnander feel as himself, or does he feel drunk off this power? Like, is he still of his own volition but is just experiencing this, or is he like whatever this fucked up timeline is?
As you look down, Domnander, it's you, all of your pieces. It's your mind is in control. You kind of look at your hand, kind of move it about, seeing the change in the fluid as the brains kind of jostle the tentacled arm about. You have full control. It is your mind fully as you look on. The frost giant looking eager for blood and excitement.
Oh boy. I think Dom looks at himself, processes it, and it just looks at Bolov and at Utham hurt and bloodied, and it's just this is a man who has raised me. This is the man who is a great ruler, the best ruler we've had in ages. I will
as
not
you say
have
that,
him
Dom,
put to death.
You are interrupted halfway through as a large bit of spittle hits you in the face as you look down and see Utham glaring a death glare at you.
I think there's a part of Dom that his jaw kind of clenches, not in anger, but just in the fresh and recent bitterness of their conversation earlier. He knows logically this is fake, but I think literally having Utham physically spit out up at him after their previous conversation does spark bad feelings in Dom, but he just kind of tries to calmly exhale and goes, and I think he'll actually look at Utham this time, knowing that it's not him, but knowing this, feeling the need to speak towards his visage, just goes, "You may leave me behind, father, and you may turn your back on me, but I will never betray you. I swore my fealty to you, Regan, and I meant it."
As you say this, you see as he glares up at you, and from behind you see as Hroten seems to shout out and yells in an older giant dialect, but you catch it well enough as you hear "baby killer" shouted at you. And as Regan Utham kind of looks back, the guards seemingly flinching as he pulls them about, easily moving them with his strength, even as injured as he is. Hroten immediately kind of quiets down as the two lock eyes, and Regan Utham looks back at you, a glare in his eyes as he stares defiantly at you. As you look down kind of at your hands for a moment, you suddenly see as a half frost giant, half fire giant baby lays in your hands. The skull fully pulled, or the head fully pulled away from the body, a long spine kind of pulling off, and some nerves dangling with some viscous kind of like a slime hanging in your hands. The rest of the body in the other hands, and Regan Utham staring at you from across the room as you look. And as you look over and see in the mirror that seems to be off to the side of this, as you realize is an office with a bunch of immense magical artifacts, you see yourself with a smile on your face as you look at Regan Utham's horror and anger.
No. No. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'm not what they said I am. I'm not evil. I didn't do it. And I think Dom just is like tries to get out of the throne. I think he's just trying to like physically fight his way out of this vision.
Give me a will save, Dom.
As I say, he's like literally being shown all of these horrific things after being like outright told by Utham like he was going to madness, the stuff Killfriend said. I think he's quite literally fight or flight, just trying to like battle his way out.
Yeah, I got you. Let's see what you got.
Visions. Oh, come on. Okay, it's better than last time. 21.
As you the concern, the sudden realization in your head as you get up trying to fight your way over, and at a moment of clarity as you walk over, punching Boloff in the face as just something you've always wanted to do, as you watch the body go flying, as the entirety of the vision goes different, and you look over and you see as you stare up, and there's nothing there, but your hand is pounding as Eider kind of sticks his head out after hearing the outside of his forge be hit with a thunderous hammer against it, and sees you kind of standing there with your hand pushed against it, throbbing as it's bright red.
I think Dom's just breathing heavily. I don't know what to ask, man.
Eider, as you look out and see Dom kind of breathing heavily, Kez already in a trance, do you say anything?
I look Dom up and down, frown for a moment. Are the illusions outside visible still?
The one of James is not, and the one that Dom had just experienced is not.
Gotcha. It's there's not any illusory nonsense going on at all at the moment.
At least not from what you can tell from immediately glance around. You don't see anything with that's kind of caught your eye.
Gotcha. I purse my lips. Kind of put my finger over my lips in the shush gesture and activate my armor. To go invisible and audible. So I don't look any different to Dom, but I'm letting Dom know specifically that I'm doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does Dom see Eider to catch that he's doing this? Am I looking his way?
Yes, as you look over, assumedly as you kind of see Eider as he gets your attention, as he activates, especially as his magic's not exactly quiet, as you can kind of see over towards him, he seems to almost for a moment vanish for a second, as he then looks over at you, and you kind of lock eyes with him, can see him clearly again.
Yep, because of the sea invisibility.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, right. So I think Dom's still just breathing heavy, hand fist against whatever he just fucking punched.
As you look up, there's nothing there. It's just the illusionary boundary of Eider's forge spell.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stand there, and I'm trying to see what is out there doing this to me. I'm not watching what Eider's doing, because that would reveal his position also. I'm literally just trying to be who the fuck is doing this? Because I want to punch them.
Give me a search check.
Okay. Not my best modifier, but fuck it, we ball. 7. No, wait.
7, yeah.
8.
8, yeah. Like Eider, there's nothing for you to see. It just seems almost too quiet and calm. There's no creatures about. There's just a few trees here and there. Everything seems very relaxed and peaceful.
Yeah, start walking out to visually check, because I imagine I've not given.
Go ahead.
I was like, I'm not giving up like the idea is like this is probably just one of the creatures. Like, I'm getting more and more of the vibes like the weird goblin creatures maybe because they seemed a lot more sophisticated than a lot of the other denizens we've come across. I think they've just been compiling more and more information as like they've been in our presence. And they're just ratcheting up the tension.
All right. Yeah, give me a search check. Let's see if you spot any of these guys then. All right.
Yep. Let's hope I roll not shit. I also have 10 feet worth of blind sense as well.
Okay.
So 17, and I'm like, wandering around for like the 3 minutes that I've got my invisibility active to try and figure out where they might be. So
Okay.
even if they're invisible, then hopefully I should come across them.
Let me see something real quick. Give me a moment. No, that is not what I want. I do not need that. There. Okay, one sec. My page closed on me for one of the things I have pulled up. There we go. Alright.
Wonderful.
As you walk about, looking around, as you do, kind of checking the distance, keeping within eyeshot of Dom, though, as you kind of do, looking behind every tree, any rocks that look suspicious, nothing seems to come up there. Doesn't seem to be any creature or anything around the area that's doing this, that catches your attention, either.
Gotcha. Well, like essentially like check until like I know that like the invisibility effect is going to come to an end, and then come back over to Dom.
Yeah.
And just kind of shrug and shake my hand. I was like, couldn't find him. Sounds like you should probably head back in. I don't think being rattled will do you any good.
I think Dom just like lets out a long exhale, kind of just clearly shaken or agitated by something, and is just like angrily looking to the forest, like for something to fight, but there's nothing he can fight, and just kind of like clenches and unclenches his fists and is like, right, I'll go lie down. And I guess we'll skulk off, very agitated and with no way to like let it out, and is just kind of like very pent up and angry about this.
Yep.
He's tired of witnessing things that upset him.
As you head... Go ahead.
Oh, I kind of like poke my head into the demi-plane, like kind of like gesture around, like spawn a little like training dummy for Dom to beat the shit out of.
I punch it. I roll to punch it.
As Kez is in the corner, conked out completely, as you realize he has no problem sleeping through any of this.
We've seen him sleep through worse.
It's true. As you look in there, either as Dom is just going at it, beating the crap out of this,
Shot a 29.
Yeah, punching the crap out of this dummy as it goes down, kind of bouncing back up. As Dom just starts working away, Kez kind of slightly snoring, still fully in his armor as he's sitting fully straight up, as he just kind of snores away, fully out cold. All right, Eider. I take it you're gonna take up watch then.
Yep.
All
I
right.
like step outside and like kind of like tap the ring and say, "You're not trying to fuck with us, are you?"
You hear no response come from the ring.
Don't you fucking ignore me.
I'll use my magic on you, damn it! You better talk to me, or I'll leave you right here.
No.
I will end the world right here, so help me.
This is like someone after meeting someone on a dating app once.
Right. But as you step out, Eider, kind of talking to the ring as you sit down, beginning to kind of keep your eyes out. The fire at this point having died off completely, as there's nothing there but a few embers as you kind of poke at it. You
It's the middle
begin...
of the day, so I'm probably not gonna try and keep that going.
I mean, it's a nice balmy 60 degrees. It's kind of chilly out, but to be honest, I mean, it is January. It could be colder, and there's no rain coming down as it's just kind of sunny out. So, it could be worse. As you kind of stand out there, or sit though, looking about, watching the forest line, give me a search check if you wouldn't mind, or a spot, or listen.
Search is a 19.
19, okay. As you kind of look about, focusing on any creature that would be hostile, anything that would be catch your attention as a hostile action or cause you concern. Looking about, you notice there's something in the distance that's walking down the same path towards your camp, and it looks to be a carriage drawn by large creatures. What look almost like armadillos with massive horns, the size of full-blown war horses, as they seem to come pedaling down at a decent speed, guessing about 10, 15 miles per hour.
That's not fucking good. Yeah, I wake up, my friends.
You kind of go to walk over towards the door. Give me a will save.
Mm-hmm.
Is it charm or compulsion?
This is not. Yes, Kez.
I was gonna say, is either about to fall for the classic
Yep.
illusions?
We're going one after another here.
I don't think so. Unless this DC is retardedly high, because I got a 30.
Damn. No, nowhere close, sadly. Fucking hell. Yeah. As you kind of find your mind almost clouded for a moment, it seems to clear as you hear James's voice from behind you as you walk up to the doorway about to open, and you hear from James go, "I can't believe that he didn't know that he left behind an entire fortune. That idiot. And the Mormons too? Who would have believed it?" As you go for the door. Are you still going in?
Oh yeah, I'm still opening the door. Like the rhino thing, I'm making sure just in case, because I don't want to fucking like let us get ambushed.
No worries. Yeah, as you open the door, seeing Dom punching away at the bag, kind of sweat dripping down, Kez
Not
still out
sleeping.
cold. Yeah. As
You
you
don't
look
have
in,
to sleep in the forge.
No, you do not. As you see them, what are you
man.
saying?
I was like, well, we've got a carriage barreling down the road, so up and at 'em.
I'm eager to fight.
Well, I mean, I was always outside sleeping, so as I'm awoken, is there a thing actually coming this way, or is I just seeing things?
As I apologize, I thought you went inside. His
No, because
thing.
we both got kicked out, so I just chilled
Oh,
outside. While
that's
Dom
right,
was on
I
that's
was
watch.
right.
kidding about like the both kicking you out thing.
Oh.
Nah, I left.
Ah.
That was real. That's canon.
As you kind of flutter your eyes awake, looking down the road, you do see Kez. Something in the coming, though you've never seen these creatures before, but you do see a carriage being pulled by something coming this direction.
Yeah, something is certainly coming.
As Dom kind of steps out beside Eider.
I'm pulling back Splinter Shard, aiming point blank, and I look at Eider and I say the word.
Bird, because bird is the word.
To be fair, I'm not going to just like attack them out of nowhere.
Do you think anything on this island that isn't expressly someone from Zevral's kingdom is going to not be aggressive?
Well, they could be.
I'm just saying, if you don't start none, there won't be none. Making
We're
enemies is
supposed
really
to
easy.
be heroes, Dom.
I'm looking with my see invisibility eye right now. What am I seeing? Who's driving this thing?
Let me double check something real quick for wording here.
I can reword say the graph as well.
No, you're good. Okay.
Also, just activate your true seeing.
I have to check. I don't know if that's recharged yet.
It's been days,
Oh,
or at least a day.
It has been a day since yesterday. As you look on, kind of looking straight over at it, there seems to be a figure or a carriage coming towards you in from that direction as you watch, Dom.
Can I tell if it's a giant-sized figure or like a medium humanoid figure?
From what you can tell, the carriage itself roughly looks to be about huge in size. Guesstimating the size of the individual inside could be no more than large. Could be a giant, probably on the smaller side if they are, as you kind of watch the thing come barreling towards you lot.
I have Splinter Shark cocked back, and if the thing does not start slowing down its momentum within like, I want to say, what's it, 30 feet, so I don't hit my allies,
Okay.
I'll fire. Like if this thing doesn't hit the brakes once it gets close enough, I'm shooting.
Well, I have a question. The course, is it going to like run right through us or just past us?
Past you from the little trail off to your side.
Oh,
That is
I
no.
thought it was going
Hmm?
right at us. Okay,
You see,
then I'll
that's
keep my...
that is why I asked that question, just in
Yeah.
case there's a confusion of
well,
the
I did
course
say
of this
if it
card.
doesn't... Yeah.
As you
okay.
look
Well,
on, I will
still-
also note the trail you guys have been on is a small game trail for the most part. This isn't something that's been well designed, so kind of
Mhm.
keeping that in mind. This is not good terrain for the cart. The ground isn't even, so the wheels will have a harder time. Also on the fact that there are many trees and limbs and bushes in the way, quite often this thing's not going to easily be able to maneuver anywhere through this territory.
Mm-hmm.
As
Your
it
car is poorly manufactured.
It is strange that this is out here, just because of the road condition and stuff like that.
That's
Mhm.
definitely suspicious. I keep Splinter Shark trained on it. I just won't fire unless it starts veering off course at us.
As the cart comes closer, about 30 or so feet, it seems to come to a stop as it comes skidding, and you see some dust pile up in front of it. No driver at the front of it as you kind of watch the two beasts kind of just standing there waiting. The doors begin to click as they open up, and you see a figure kind of step out. Pale but tan in skin, about 5'5" long white hair that seems to flow both on top of his head and from his face, a long curly beard, bright golden glimmering eyes kind of glowing as they do. A beautiful purple armor that's made, looks to be made from out in the styling of mountain plate, made of something solid. It glimmers even from here with magic and arcane energy. The figure's eyes kind of seem to look over and lock on you both, or on you lot, and he kind of looks you up and down. It is Oventium Eider. As he kind of nods and looks at you all, he walks over, goes up to Kez, looks him up and down, puts a hand to his beard, rubbing it up and down as he gets right up next to Kez, take a deep sniff as he looks him up and gives him a once-over. Looking him in the eyes, staring at Kez for a moment, even though he's quite short in comparison. Walks over to Dom, kind of looking him up and down in the sling, keeping about a 10-foot step away from Dom before as
You're
he watches.
still within my reach.
Kind of looks,
Picky
turns
feet.
to Eider and smiles and goes, "Let me guess. Spellforge?" As he speaks in Dwarvish.
Recently, yes. So who do I owe the pleasure of meeting?
Oh, my name's nothing important. Probably cause you more troubles to note than anything. I'm a friend. Yeah, we'll go with a friend. That's a good term for it. An associate that won't kill you. A friend in most languages these days. I can't help but I've been curious and was interested in you, and you're a lot. Not many spell forges out there, not many who can use magic like we do. And I was very curious to see what it had come to be. Though I'm not as impressed as I was expecting. You're not exactly a letdown as he eyes you up and down. 2 giant pets. Dragon armor. Not bad. Could be doing better. Could be doing worse. But I don't understand. Why do you... And he looks at you, and almost like with a sudden realization dawning on him, like a light bulb moment, he kind of looks at you and goes, "You do not know yet. Ah, that I must be going, as he turns and starts to walk away. And
No
I'm
what?
watching you. What was that?
Said no what?
Oh! You don't know of you, your heritage, your ancestry. Nothing.
No. From
Mm.
one friend, and I make like the word, twist the word into like a sardonic kind of grin, to another. Would you care to enlighten me?
Not particularly.
And what kind of friend are you?
One who knows what your past is, what your future holds, and one that can tell you these friends of yours will probably not make it. But I would be, as he kind of switches to giant, an asshole, and switches back to dwarvish, if I left you with nothing. So allow me to tell you. Seek out what is sought by all adventurers, and you will learn the truth of who you are and what you're to be. Probably why your luck is so lousy, as he looks over at Kez and Domnender.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you that. You say you're also a Spellforge. Did we piss off like some kind of eldritch deity? Like, what's the deal with that?
We are what magic hates. We are what caused mortals to be despised by those who bring the law, and we are what the gods desire to be. That is all I can tell you. Go ahead.
I was just like, I always thought myself as the natural counterbalance, the natural predator to, well, magecraft.
You have no idea what our powers have yet to unlock, but my time is limited here, and soon you will learn the truth. Seek me out in the future when you are better prepared. I will soon be in the world news, and you'll know who I am, I imagine. Good luck, as he turns and begins to walk.
Dom has still had Splinter Shark trained on this guy the whole time, so if Eider gives me the word,
Mm-hmm.
So is the only part of that me and Kez caught was asshole?
Asshole. Yes.
Yeah.
So I didn't catch all of the insult bits. Got it. Yeah, I'm just watching this guy with Splinter Shard talk back, just like, what the fuck is happening?
As he
I just like
turns
gesture
back and
to his
walks. Go ahead.
I just gesture to his armor and just shake my head like the, no, are you fucking insane?
Yeah, I was about to say I know what Aventium is. Fuck that.
Kez is just kind of
Wait,
admiring
Dom,
as
I've never
well.
seen it in person?
Dom, you would
I
have.
of course.
You have in character. I will say, out of character, more than likely you would have at some point, as Uthem would have probably been doing some research on some very small amounts with how valuable it is.
Yeah, one of
Gotcha,
the quote unquote Morins, the fake Morins, turned my shield temporarily into Aventium and
Oh,
then back.
temporarily
Yes.
into that, and I would have recognized
Aventium,
it.
the
Okay.
metal to rule all metal.
Yep. My unobtainium. But as the figure turns and begins to walk away, you see him turn back once more as he gets up to the little staircase up to his carriage and looks back and says in giant and goes, "Let the illusions show you what they are. They're not lying." As he gives a nod and kind of walks into his carriage, closing the doors. As his carriage begins to move forward, and then seems to the two creatures seem to transform, wings beginning to pull out, their bodies kind of elongating and growing taller as their shells kind of pull into them and feathers come out of their fronts, their backs becoming more orangish in colors, and what appears to be griffins suddenly appear where these almost iron armadillo-like rhino beasts once were, and the carriage begins to fly as the thing goes vanishing off into the distance.
Analyzing it, does it look like a spell effect? Or just shape changers?
Spell effect, I will say. Yes, for that. Because I will say, well, give me a spellcraft, actually.
I would love to, because if I could replicate that. 26.
26. So yes, I will say this was a spell-like ability, you'd guess, and not from the creatures. It seems to have been from him individually. As far as the spell itself, you'd guess it to be a modified version of polymorph, but similar enough to it.
Gotcha. Yeah, like write down like like little notes and like a spot like scrap margin of vellum. It was like I could do that to Dom maybe.
Okay.
You kind of start making notes of the spell, the magic pattern, trying to kind of see, filling in the blanks where you can to get that thing ready for later as you kind of work it to a piece of spell scroll. Alright. But as you lot find yourselves now all awakened, middle of the day now, the sun high in the sky, it's a nice balmy 65 with cool winds kind of blowing, no humidity thankfully. What would you like to do as you stand there, watching the carriage disappear into the sunset, or into the sun?
I'm tired
We
of this
are.
island.
We're supposed to wait until sunset before we start moving again, right?
As you were told by Scartsmender, it is not to travel once at night and once at day. It is to travel more and make sure you don't have a pattern. As creatures of the island that are predatory and capable of killing you will follow your sleeping schedule to try and hunt you at night when you're sleeping.
Gotcha.
And-
But how much time do we have left of the day?
It is about noon. You'd guess probably at this early in the year, maybe 4 or 5 hours most of sunlight.
Alright, what do you say? Head out in 2 hours?
Yeah, that makes sense. You can wrap up. I guess I'll pay attention to the illusions.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a baby I just heard? Did I just hear a baby in the background?
Nah, it's a cat.
I was also wondering what.
Okay.
Meow! Meow! Meow!
I was gonna say, is it the cat needs food? 'Cause we can take a minute. I mean, I don't want if it's gonna cry like a baby like that. That's mysterious and creepy. I'm worried for you. You have
It doesn't sound nearly like a baby, like in person.
on your end. Okay, I was gonna say that's an eldritch horror cat. You need to take care of that damn thing.
That cat is emotionally manipulating.
Feed me, Seymour!
Baby.
Yeah, right? Like, oh my God, you've got God cat going on.
Father.
Oh no.
Father, I wish for food.
But as Eider kind of mentions this standing there, Kez and Dom, are you gonna stay outside or are you gonna go back into the forge?
I
I
guess.
mean-
I'll stay resting outside just to be at a quick beck and call if I need be.
Okay.
Dom is aware he does not need to sleep
Mhm.
inside the forge, and after his vision does not want to sleep, so I'll be in the forge still punching that training dummy.
Alright. So you put your sling away, kind of shoulders slumped a little bit that you didn't get to kill the
Yeah.
guy, and heading inside to go fight the dummy.
Dom is gonna punch this thing until like Eider and Kez come in like, hey, we're leaving to get him
Okay.
to stop. That's all my entire plan.
As you head inside, kind of working away at the dummy, as you see, it kind of seems to slightly change to the female giantess from earlier. As Eider kind of noticing your irritation towards the figure, kind of morphs it for a second as he heads back out for his watch. As you go about watching Eider, give me another spot or listen check here.
21 spot.
21 spot. As you kind of watch, the area around you begins to morph. Kez is light snoring, not fooling you in the slightest, as he's fully, you can tell, paying attention to what's going on, as one of his eyes slightly kind of flutters open a little bit, watching.
I'm resting, not sleeping. There's a difference.
Little bubble kind of coming out of his nose as it looks like he's snoring, but he's fully eyes on the prize here.
I've mastered the art of deception.
Yes. As you watch, though, Eider, the environment around you slightly morphs, and you begin to notice that it looks like Treasure Cove back home, the stronghold of your parentage, place you lived, as the kindest way to put it. Very empty halls, the servants very kind, but most of the nobles not pleasant in any way. Many of them sticking their nose up at you, or worse, looking down at you. Though you didn't find yourself tormented due to your amalgamations, none of them wanted to end up on the bad end of a MacGyver machine. you weren't very popular amongst your siblings and cousins amongst the household. As many of them labeled you as weird, as you recall. Always tinkering in the workshop with the smiths and the common man, whereas they all found themselves practicing on the martial field, working hard to be nobles. And as you begin to watch Treasure Cove kind of rebuild itself around you, a beautiful fortress gleaming with gold, gilded fish kind of lining every hall, and marble kind of almost set on every pillar. It's gorgeous, exactly the wealthy and cold environment you remember escaping and getting away from. And as you follow well, not really follow, but the scene seems to move you, you find yourself following an older version, more age-appropriate version of your adoptive father, walking the cane, looking very elderly, very tired, his eyes paler, his body weakened, the blades on his back still sharp, and there's a sense about him that still tells you he can still fight, he just doesn't show it, almost playing the part. But as it continues to follow him, you see as he walks down deeper and deeper into the fortress, taking stairs that you didn't know existed, heading down into the recesses of the stronghold itself on the seaside cliff. Finally coming to what looks to be a guarded-up chamber with heavy iron bars, what looks to be an Oventium lock as you look at it. The symbol, as you recognize, of Ella Ugbo kind of almost emblazoned upon the door in bronze, as it seems to glimmer as your adoptive father walks up, pushing the guard aside, who doesn't seem to at all respond, just letting himself be pushed, pulling out a key and opening it as he does, the lock seemingly snapping, the symbol beginning to glow and show the symbol of the old woman's face as it seems to open the door, pushing open. Bunch of, as you look in, scrolls on shelves, books, and dust kind of cover wall to wall. A single lectern in the center where what looks to be a large scroll has been unraveled. Looking it up and down, all the information seems to be too blinded, if you will, too rugged. It's nothing you can interpret as you look it over, almost as if it's not actually there, but being recreated in front of you as you kind of contemplate. But you see as your adoptive father seems to kind of look over it, pointing to a certain point, and angrily growling at it, looking and mentioning something as you catch the words in Dwarvish. How could he have done it? Why did Ishkur do it? I thought we were demons. How can this be? If they find out where the family will be ended, we'll lose everything. As he seems to kind of roll the scroll up again, and you see him angrily staring at it as he shoves it into his long robed sleeves. Begins to turn and head up the stairway once more. As he kind of begins to head off, the vision seems to clear as you look about, and you is replaced once more with the forest. And there's that name, by the way, for spelling.
Thank you.
Good. I don't imagine that that's immediately familiar to me, is it?
Yeah, give me a knowledge history we'll go with for this.
Go, gadget knowledge.
Right.
27.
27. It is not the slightest. The word doesn't mean anything. In Dwarvish, it's just a mumbo jumbo. It sounds kind of like a name, is what you kind of gather from it, but nothing kind of sticks out historically or from any of the books you've read.
Yeah. It's like, I really don't have to go home, but it sounds like I might if I have to fucking look for whatever that was.
You kind of watch, looking over at it, waiting a moment, seeing something. The visions begin to pick up once more. As this time, Kiz's eyes are a bit more open now, having seen his holy symbol a moment ago with curiosity, or am I wrong on that?
I'm definitely paying more attention now.
Suddenly the area kind of changes its depiction as you can hear Dom inside getting a sweat as a sudden the sound of something cracking can be heard as one of the poor dummy kind of breaks apart as another one appears in front of Dom.
Getting a high score, damn it.
Yeah. As you look about, though, Eider, you begin to see a scene that you're not familiar with. A building, a long hall, large, beautiful glass windows kind of depicting all along the sides of this room. A massive table depicting some ancient battle of Dwarvish. That, I mean, it's not important as you kind of look over it. It could be 1,000 of them, to be honest, as you kind of notice it. But what catches your attention is the nobles from all the different Snowbeard clans and houses and lesser clans all sitting around this table, even the leader of House Venkos himself, all a circular table that seems to be equal. As you look at the one side of it, the opposite of the House of Venkos, James seems to be sitting there, speaking up, as you hear him say, "The House of Venkos cannot rule anymore. They have gone to the sides of the Morans, an ancient demon race, and refuse to rely on the proper dwarven blood that we so happen to have and have fought to keep going in these lands. Do you realize what we have accomplished? And he sells our people out with the help of the Strong Helms and anyone else who would be willing to listen." As you see James giving a continuous speech outing the Venkos for crime after crime, the other nobles seeming to cheer along or smack the table in agreements. And as it goes quiet and as James speaks and or kind of ends his speech, one of the other Snowbeard clans begins to stand up and speaks and goes, "I call for a house vote. Every member, every leader shall vote and cast who they wish to be the next king, as it will only be fair. Only people who have royal blood being allowed to be chosen." As you watch the scene slowly, as many of the Snowbeard nobles kind of nod along, James seemingly agreeing with them and clapping to it, as the rest of the nobles seem to give their nod of approval. Seeing your aunt there sitting next to James, she seems to be kind of eyeing the rest of the individuals up very cautiously. You notice her eyes, though, keep seemingly stopping on Kez and you as you stand off to one of the sides of this table and this grandiose meeting. She seems to keep staring and watching you as the speech goes on. And as the quiet falls over the table once more, you hear as James shouts and goes, "Let everyone speak their vote, and let it be known without any regret." As you see one by one, stone tablets seem to pull up and be held to the air. And Eider, you watch as out of all these Snowbeards, you have almost 70% of the votes as your name is posted. And you see James's anger growing as he looks out amongst the table. A sudden irritation kind of flowing past the leader of the Venkos' eyes, kind of catching your attention almost immediately as the room begins to explode in suddenly a bustle of activity as Snowbeards come running out of every corner. What looks to be frost giants that have strange features coming charging through the windows, cracking them. The appearance of what looks to be different airships almost circling as you look outside the cracked windows, all of them bearing the Ironheart Merchant Company banner as as balls of spellfire come flying down, fireballs raining upon the building and collapsing in as James stands up and starts attacking alongside his bodyguard and your aunt, killing and attacking all who wrote the words Eider upon their tablets. And then the vision fades as you are left standing around looking about.
I was just like take a moment, just like a visual fucking confusion. I was like, all right, so maybe not going home. What the fuck has James been up to?
In the distance, cut to James just sitting in a room doing accounting paperwork as he like sneezes. But as you say this, Eider, kind of thinking about it, last contact you had heard from them was something along the lines of them, or of Cinder trying to reach out to you to talk to Kez. You never heard what they had spoke about.
Kez, you talked to my uncle recently, didn't you?
Which one would that be?
Cinder.
Kez, as you remember back to when you were handed a thing of sand and told to asked to speak to someone, you weren't really told much of who the person was, but as you kind of clue two and two together, it comes to realization that was probably who he's talking about.
Oh yeah, it was a very long time ago. I was asked to speak to your uncle, but nothing ever came of it.
Got it. So none
You
of
know-
it came through. You didn't ever talk to him.
Not really. We never really had a chance to. I mean, we've just been moving around all the time. Never really a chance to, find your uncle and talk to him.
I will mention, in the excuse for poor Kez's memory, this was before his he had to take off for the play. So this was like a few months ago that this happened.
A very small thing in itself.
But a good timestamp there for you.
Yeah.
But as
Yeah,
you,
it's
Mhm.
yeah. So, you're like, oh yeah, I remember being, asked to talk to the guy, but it just never happened.
You did speak to him, because you spoke to him when you touched the sand. He had something for you, but I cannot recall off the top of my head what it was.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, there you go. But as you kind of see Eider looking at Kez's eyes, Kez seems to have really no recollection beyond that as you kind of look, realizing it was a while ago. I mean, that was almost a year ago in-game.
Man, I hope whatever it was wasn't important.
What was?
I'm not going to comment on that because I remember just now what it was. It's okay. You'll get a message later from an annoyed Syndra.
I already got a message from an annoyed Cameron.
Oh, well, that works. But as you kind of watch the visions, thankfully, kind of not coming back, as you kind of wait a few more moments, Eider thinking about it, the room kind of, or the area kind of stays quiet as the time continues on.
These visions are fucking trippy.
Yeah. If only, these visions were able to remind me of, what I talked to Cinder about. That'd be fucking useful.
And suddenly, in Kez's head, Kez, give me a will save.
Ah, sick.
Forgetting
I really
the
hope this
you
is.
asked for.
I hope this is a help me wisdom saving throw and not a hurt me wisdom saving throw.
Quick, up to fail.
All
It
right,
could be
21.
21. As you go to try to remember, in front of you, a vision begins to appear as if it was real. As you look about and see yourself standing outside of the stronghold of Zebral's castle. A few what looks to be a Chunkster Junior or a Chunkster Senior kind of staring at you angrily as it wriggles around ready to fight. And you suddenly remember seeing after the fight, suddenly talking to, Eider handing you a thing of sand and telling you to put your hand to, or your ear to it and speak into it. But nothing comes to memory as you kind of think back on it, as you look out, seeing the memory. And as you kind of try to remember more and more, the entirety of the area begins to change and dissipate as you and Eider both see you sitting there and talking to some individual on the other, somewhere else. It seems to appear almost right next to you, a shadowy-looking figure. And as they go on to say something as you watch your own lips, Kez, reading your own lips for a moment, you catch, "Welcome to Domino's. What is your order?" Not actually. But as you stare,
I'd
rather...
like
The
a
restaurant?
medium pizza with Parmesan crust and pepperoni and mushrooms for my topping, please. Yes, on the extra cheese.
No, what it actually, as Kez recalls, or tries to recall, the illusion begins to fill in. And Kez, you see visions of the gods themselves fighting amongst the city of King's End. Your temple being torn and attacked. What looks to be an individual, a dragonborn with black scales, laughing maniacally as green fire kind of flows past it. but nothing comes to mind as you try to think of what was the conversation about. No voices can be heard, nothing seems to be spoken, but only a vision that seems to kind of be shared.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't remember shit.
It's alright. I kind of like poke the fucking visions and like I start like it's like because like Kez like unless I'm mistaken just conjured this fucking vision.
Yes,
trying to remember
basically that
something.
you could fully see. Yes.
I like think for a moment and I like think back to the Deathsmith and try and conjure that.
You see, as around you, give me a will save real quick.
I'm gonna choose to fail this.
I probably did. I got a 16.
16.
Oh.
As you look around you and see the area begin to change and begin to see the long hallway once more, the dead-looking individual pushed up against a wall, holding what looks to be kind of off to his side a plant that looks to be somewhat almost dead, a letter kind of dangling out of his pockets. Some ash off to the side where it looks like a scuffle was had, and what looks to be a large anvil in the center of the room with a beautiful glowing hammer, but nothing else. As Kez begins to see the same thing.
Gotcha. I mosey on over to try and like grab the letter, or like open the letter and read it.
You go walking over to open the letter. Kez, give me a will save.
Oh.
Sick. That'll be a 15.
God damn it. As you go to crack the letter, Eider, kind of looking into it, the words are blurred and there's nothing seemingly there that you can decipher.
Damn it. Well, failing that, I go like inspect the anvil at least.
Well, as you walk over to the anvil, checking it out, Kez kind of walking about, looking at things as well, I imagine. Kez, actually, what is going on? What are you doing as you see the area turn into the Deathsmith's hallway once more?
I'm still trying to think of this potentially important thing that I was told. I'm just gonna sit there and keep trying to contemplate.
Alright.
Because the thing is, if Cinder tried to tell me something, it was probably important, and I feel really bad for forgetting. Because the only message I remember even getting was, like the letter I got from my church.
Uh-huh.
So I don't remember anything from Cinder.
No worries. This was a while ago, to be fair, in-game and out of game. As you try to think back to the best of your ability. Dom, as this is going on, and as you kind of are hammering away, the door to the domain, this pocket dimension, is open. You can see outside. You do see as the almost terrain begins to slightly shift about, as it begins to narrow to a hallway. As you look out, seeing Eider and Kez down the same hallway as the Deathsmith's own domain.
Mm-hmm. Does it look like they're in any sort of danger or struggling with something that requires Dom to roll?
Kez is definitely thinking very hard as he looks to be deep in thought, but Eider looks to be kind of investigating the area as you watch.
I don't do thinking too often either.
Yeah,
I would say that's a bad
there's steam
sign.
coming out of Kez's ears. He's like tapping his head hard. You can hear him saying, "Think, Keznanok, think," kind of over and over as he's
Good thing
pacing back and forth.
Has fire resistance.
God damn it.
Dom's mad and confused and feeling a lot of big boy emotions, so he's just gonna keep punching unless he sees something that like would call his attention out to the visions. He's not really interested in partaking. He's very upset at these visions, so he really doesn't want anything to do with them at this moment.
Okay. All right, Eider,
But if something pops up, I'll head out. I am keeping an eye.
Okay. All right, Eider, as you walk over towards the anvil, kind of looking at it, what are you inspecting it for?
Material, magic, if there's any kind of interesting thing that I could, increase my own forge with. Plus, there's a cool hammer that was on top of it, from my understanding.
Yeah, give me, call it a praise check.
25, including my dwarven bonuses.
Okay. As you look it over, you do recognize the smith or the anvil itself as the same one you had seen the apprentice smith himself kind of picking up and using when he had appeared. Looking at the hammer, you kind of notice similarly looks to be the same almost exactly, although it glimmers with what looks to be a blackened ore that is almost empty as you move it about, like a empty black glass. As you look inside, kind of checking it out. Kind of testing it in your hand. It's about 5 pounds in weight. No markings, no distinctness to it. The anvil itself seems to be simple in its design, though as you look closer, you do see designs of what looks to be great struggles of wars and battles fought long ago. Nothing that kind of catches your eye, though, as anything unique or particular, having seen these battles depicted prior in history books before. Nothing, though, catches your attention.
It's just a cool anvil.
It is. You'd roughly value it at about near 1 million gold pieces for the amount of metal in it.
Gotcha.
The metal itself, you'd guess to be a mix of high-end oventium on the light end and some sort of orichalcum mixture.
Got it. Since we're in the hallway, I take a shrug and just start moving over to where I remember the alcove of intelligent weapons being.
Mm-hmm. As you head over to it, looking about, there's nothing there. As you kind of tap the wall a few times, inspecting it, checking it out, nothing seems to appear. Nothing seems to happen.
Finally, just sigh and come over to the dead deathsmith. It's like, well, aren't you going to try and tell me something? Come on, we were talking last time.
As all you hear is the quiet whispering, "Think, Kezenok, think."
Think a lot quieter, Kezenok.
No, if I think quieter, then I can't remember.
As he looks over at you, suddenly, as you mention this, walking about again, and as he goes back to trying to think, the loud tapping on his head kind of drowning out the volume around.
I just look all horrified, thinking, that's not how thinking works.
If I think louder, I remember more.
For a moment, experimentally, push out with magic and kind of push a tendril into the corpse in front of me to see if it reacts, or if the fucking explodes.
Okay, give me a spellcraft check. Corpse bomb.
37.
37. Nothing seems to happen. As your magic seems to interact, or at least what you'd expect to interact, feeling the tendrils of magic kind of pushing out of you towards the body, and there's nothing seemingly there for it to interact with.
It is an illusion, so that makes sense.
True.
It's just a vision. I was just seeing if it would a trigger.
Yeah, no, fair enough. As you kind of look about, waiting to see if anything else happens, kind of staring at the walls, watching for a moment, expecting something to happen. A moment goes by, and nothing seems to change.
Gotcha. Well, last object of interest in this was the plant. So I guess I got, mosey on, look at that.
Yeah, no worries. As you walk over, taking a look at the plant, immediate first reaction as you look down at it is it looks like a dead version of Ned's own personal plant that he's been keeping around. Seeing the dried up soil and a few red rocks kind of glimmering inside that look a little bit duller than what you remember them to be. A wilted plant that looks like it's most of its leaves have fallen off, a few of them kind of at the bottom of the pot. Its roots looking to be pretty rough, as you kind of see even a rough wind kind of as you breathe down towards them seems to crack one of the roots almost entirely.
Just kind of think back is this might have been what would have happened if the hell portal guy had succeeded and not just immediately died.
Could have been. Is there anything you're trying to gather from the plant though specifically?
I don't know shit about plants, so I don't think so.
Okay. Besides it looks like Ned's plant, that's about all you got really here. And good news, it's not sentient, as you kind of poke it for a second, expecting it to talk back.
Yeah. Well, it's fully dead, so.
Yeah. As you look about.
An undead plant is some fucked up shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say undead plant would be wild.
Note for self for later to fuck with Saturday with. But
Yeah, it doesn't seem like I've got much to interact with, so I'm just kind of the vision fade out.
okay. As the vision vanishes and dissipates around you, looking about, it seems to go back to the forest itself, kind of quieting down as the sounds of the creatures howling and making noise seems to almost dissipate somewhat to the background. As you kind of walk back over towards where the camp was, noticing you've managed to walk about 30 or so feet away from where you were earlier. As you head over to where Kez is standing, still thinking, as he kind of contemplates what was going on.
I just kind of like look around, like note to both of us. You do actually move when you're in the vision. Apparently, if you start moving, it's not just a purely mental thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not always immediately obvious, but good to know. Like, just in case, don't move too much, or we might walk off a cliff.
As you say this, seeing a dummy's head go flying outside of the forge, slamming into one of the trees.
Dom, you good?
There's just the sound of punching and things. Hopefully,
Snapping.
dummies breaking. Yeah.
As more smacks are heard, Eider, as you realize that you're being ignored.
Man's in a focus. I'm on that grind.
Mm-hmm.
Feet training takes way too long. You can't just do it now, Dom. Jesus.
I'm feet training. I need to be better. I need to punch the illusions dead.
That's not a thing.
Not until I homebrew a feat for it.
Oh no. As though the Kez and Eider, as you're standing out there, kind of looking about, the illusion seemingly having dissipated for the moment, what would you like to do?
Well, might be able to do one more illusion, but I think we're growing long in the tooth on that one before it starts fucking with us.
Could be.
Do, on the other hand, still have shit to do, so.
Mm-hmm. It's up to you. What would you like to do? Are you going to continue camping, or are you going to head off as quick as possible?
One more, and then I'm good. Guys, did you have anything else you wanted to see?
No,
Try
I'm good.
out? Gotcha. Think about all the shit that I've heard about Meadmancer,
Uh-huh.
and try and, like, force that into some kind of vision. Like, he seems... I can't remember if it was just, like, I overheard from, like, another session, but, like, it seemed like he was related to my fam in some weird way.
Okay. As you kind of try to focus your mind, thinking back to what you know of the figure, nothing seems to change as you look about. Taking a moment and looking around, as you see, almost immediately standing on top of your domain, or your pocket domain, stands an orange-looking goblinoid with a single horn and its eyes glowing red as it stares down at you, and speaks up, and just starts making a bunch of gargling sounds at you as it aggressively gestures towards you.
I just like look up and surprised, like, oh, it was you guys. I was like hold up like my hair's like, come on. I just like make the like there's like I try to like pantomime as like, what's wrong?
As you do that, Kez, give me a spot check real quick, as you see Eider kind of looking up towards the top of the pocket dimension.
Spot check. We love
It's just
spot checks.
check here.
Man, oh my god, my rolls are really up and down today.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be a total of 9.
9. Well, unfortunately, you're still deep in thought as you keep thinking and looking about. And I do appreciate that for the factor of what I have to do to you now. I want you to know I have been looking forward to doing this for the last couple of hours. Does a 17 hit your flat-footed AC?
My flat-footed?
Correct.
Let me take a look. No, it does not.
Does a 23?
No.
Shit. Well, plan A is out the window.
As his eyes glow with the sunlight of the heavens.
As you feel something pounding into your back, kind of knocking you out of it, looking behind you, you see another one of these creatures. Its nails kind of have out as its hands seem to have clawed at your back, as you can see the nails kind of pushed up from hitting your armor. And the creature just makes a bunch of aggressive gargling noises and spits at you.
Huh.
Go ahead
Appears you come to die today.
and roll me an initiative.
I see. You have chosen death.
You come to me to die.
What's Dom doing in the forge?
Dom, you'll be hearing these creatures. Don't worry.
Okay, I won't roll initiative until I'm in form.
18.
18. Oh my god. Alright, Eider or Kiz, which one of you has the higher modifier?
Me
I have only a +2.
I have a +9.
Damn! So much for the slow tank. Jesus Christ.
All things through magic items can be achieved.
It's
All
true.
things through magic can be done.
Alright, Dom, and then as well, I'll have you do an initiative just as to keep track of.
Okay. Let me roll. Shebang. Oh, the rolls, Dom, buddy. Dom is going through it.
Yeah?
6.
6? Oh, nice. Hey,
Really
you know,
well.
don't worry, Dom. It's the perfect amount of time because I got an 11 with them. So,
Guys, I'm gonna roll 3 now once and lose my other arm. I can feel it.
right. As we end up at the top of the initiative, Eider, as you look out, looking up on top of the cube that is your demi-plane, about 20 feet off the ground, and about 15 feet back from where you're standing, looks to be one of these creatures. Another one looks to be behind Kez, who's about 10 feet off to your right. And then suddenly what you notice as a third one seemingly is dangling off the side of the pocket dimension, about 10 feet to your left and about 20 feet up off the ground. As you look about, the creatures seem only to be a tripod as you catch, kind of preparing to attack you.
Gotcha.
What would you like to do?
First, I do my little knowledge devotion real fast. Fuck, I don't know what to roll for these fuckers.
Are these like these weird little goblin things that we saw earlier?
Correct.
What knowledge check would you say is for them for knowledge devotion?
Knowledge nature.
Okay.
I mean, they are still a creature of this plane.
Got it. Well, that's a 38. So
There you
that
go.
will max out at the +5 bonus.
Goddamn. Okay.
There we go. And then, do I know anything about these fuckers?
No, there's not a written book about them. They look like they're a goblin, but given what you've seen them doing, they're probably not goblinoids. Yeah, other than humanoid in feature, nothing else kind of gives you much.
Okay. Well, for now, we'll just, take a swing at them.
All right. Let's see what you can do.
We'll worry about, exactly what all of their nonsense is as it happens.
I mean, you saw they attack with their hands as you watched Kez's back get a nice massage.
Yeah.
So let's see what you got. What was it?
So 24 hit.
24 does hit.
$15 damage.
15 as what are you using?
My axe.
Okay. Oh, you're just slashing at them?
Yeah.
All right. As you go to slash at the creature, cutting into it. Nice. Which one are you attacking, to be clear?
The
One behind. Go ahead.
I'll go with the one that's like attacking Kez.
Okay. As you charge up behind or around Kez, kind of getting beside him as you get the flank on him, which would have still hit. The creature seems kind of shocked as it sees you coming around, axe at the head ready as you slash at it, cutting at one of its limbs as a bunch of this greenish blood spurts out of it. Give me a reflex save, please.
21.
21. You do succeed, so you'll take half. You take 1 point of acid damage.
I take 0.
There you go. As the creature goes or bleeds and screeches and a wail and gurgles and spits as its tongue kind of goes about, almost like like the Tasmanian devil, as the creature makes more strange noises at you. All right. Is that in your turn? Good.
Yeah, because I think I had to move to.
Yep,
get to
that is. Yep.
Okay. Just like like reaction, just like pound my shield and like look at the rest of them like menacingly. I doubt I'm that intimidating, but fuck it.
Give me an intimidation check. Let's see what you got.
I was an 8, so no.
No. Alright, as the creature seems to narrow its eyes, glaring at you, themselves glowing red, as you end your turn. Kez, you are up.
Sick. I would like to smack the goblin with my hammer.
Alright, you turn around to swing at it. You do have a flanking bonus of +2, so.
You see, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-oh. He's doing
that would be a 18.
18? That does hit. Oh, no, sorry, that does not hit. As you watch their body glimmer and what looks to be a beautiful, almost solid, glimmering silver light of a fortress kind of appears around them. As the creature seems to take your hit, the hammer bouncing off and the creature seeming to stick its tongue out at you and spittling.
Then I will do it again.
Alright, let's see what you got.
Does a 27 hit?
Yes, by a lot.
It's just like, and then just straight through again. All right.
Kez with all of his
here.
anger.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's see here. So it is a D10 of bludgeoning. So that will be 8 damage.
8 damage.
And 3 lightning.
Ooh, alright. Let me see. And then, alright, as you slam into it, the lightning kind of shocking the creature, surprising it as its tongue kind of spittles out and fries as it turns to a blackened color. The creature, kind of spittling up blood towards you, glares. However, and remind me, your hammer does bludgeoning only, I believe?
So my hammer does bludgeoning and then lightning damage.
Okay, perfect. Then you're good. As you slam into the creature and as it continues to stare, thankfully, as none of the blood seems to come out hitting you, as it did almost either, the creature kind of gives you a nasty glare with one of its other eyes as it stares at you, locking with the eyes the best it can.
And that's it.
Alright. It's up, and since you smacked into it, it's going to attack Eider because Eider did more damage and it don't want to die immediately. Poor thing does not know. Eider is going to be harder to hit. That is at highest a 22.
Not even close.
Yeah,
I don't know about you. I'm feeling 22.
Alright, as the other creature on top of the pocket plane is going to run over and jump off. Let me roll my jump, or my tumble for it. Oh my god. Oh, wait, hold up. Is that actually a fail? I didn't think that would be... Alright, as the creature goes flying and jumps towards, and like trying to get behind Kez, coming careening towards the ground as it knocks itself prone, falling straight as it does. Now, Kez, you are surrounded by the creatures, one behind you, prone on the ground, and the other in front of you that's been smacked with a hammer.
Good. That means I can swing in any direction. I'll have a target.
The third creature is going to swing around the side and go in at Dom, as it sees Dom swinging about, and is going
Dude,
to
I'm just training.
throw itself.
Dude, I'm just training. What the fuck?
It'll be
You're
great.
interrupting
Man wants to
my
go into another
workout,
dimension
bro.
to attack.
Bro, my workout.
Oh my god. That is a 20, that is a nat 20 for one of them and a nat 1, so does a 16 hit by chance?
16 will not hit. I'm trying to check if a 26 does. 26
It's a nat
does.
Well, it's a nat 20, so it'll
Oh, yeah,
auto.
that's fine.
Okay, so there, no confirm for it, and then confirming for the nat 1. No, almost
Man,
did.
if I got fucking triple 20'd after triple 1'ing, I would quit.
Oh, right. Alright, so
Forever.
it hits with one of its mini claw attacks for a total of 2 points of slashing damage as the creature jumps in and slashes at you, Dom.
Dom, with his fist raised in the middle, punching the dummies, slowly just turns his head, his grafted eyes gleaming, and there's just a pure look of bloodlust when I see an actual enemy I can fight.
Oh no, as the creature looks up and ends its turn, you're up, Dom.
Oh, I'm up, you say.
Yep, last in the initiative, but hey, it worked out.
It's not
Oh,
the
it
only thing
does.
that's up for Dom.
Hmm.
Run,
Run, little goblin.
lying about
Run.
my character.
Run, goblin.
I'm gonna
be
roll a
free.
digital dice, I think, just because my IRL dice have been a little finicky. I'm
Yeah, feel
gonna
free.
just aim 2 full punches into this goblin's entire body, and I want to shatter every bone it has.
Alright, let's see what you got.
Preferably. So the first is gonna be, do I hit? 16. I'm rolling dog shit everywhere.
A 16 does not hit as you go to swing, and the creature like dodges to the side, spitting at you as it sticks its tongue out at you.
I'm so sore and sluggish after punching 20 dummies to death.
Right?
I just, oh my gosh.
Damn! Dom, as the second one goes to the side, kind of feeling yourself gassed at this point, as the creature easily dodges out of the side, making more raspberry
just gonna-
sounds.
Use his second attack, just with pure anger that he keeps missing it. I'm gonna get serious and I'm gonna flurry of blows.
Alright.
Second action since I'm not moving. And
Let's-
I will roll in the dice tower with my physical dice. That's a 20.
To hit? That does
Yes.
just barely hit.
Second flurry of blows. That's a 26.
That hits?
I serious. This thing has gone before me in initiative, so I won't get my sneak attack, but that's fine. Plus. Okay, so that's my. Oh, I have to double check what mode my gauntlets are in real quick. Let me double check. I didn't put the claws out, so
Mm-hmm.
let me double check. That means. Okay. So they don't do that extra damage type. So it's just 2 plus the 2. I always have fun adding all these die together. Riveting gameplay.
Hey, you know, it's part of 3.5. It's
Mhm.
how Eider
Well, I
manages
thought
to have a
that
higher
was-
dex than Kaz.
So I just
I don't have
believe
higher
I-
decks. I just have a shitload of bonuses.
Huh?
okay, I'm just double checking if I
Gotcha. Yeah, what's up?
do.
Got this, Dom.
So, yeah, I'm just double checking. If I get that extra 1d8 if I don't have the claws out? I don't think I
The good
do.
damage? No,
Do
you
I?
do not. It's claws are all by
Okay.
itself. Yeah.
Cool. So it'll just be this for the first hit.
Okay, 33 points of damage.
Yes.
Let me see.
And then,
All right. Creature is
just do
still
that
up.
again.
Mm-hmm.
I figured it was. I'd be very surprised if I killed it in one hit. Second attack. Oh,
Ooh.
same amount of damage.
Well, I can tell you, the creature is bloodied. As you watch as you smash into it, punching its face one after another as your rage takes over, slamming as you do, teeth going flying, the eyes beginning to blacken, the creature making more and more spittling raspberry sounds as blood begins to exert itself. Your gauntlets just do bludgeoning damage in this type, correct?
Yeah, because I don't have the claws out. They just do the bludgeoning and then the alchemical acid.
Okay.
So they don't do any slashing or piercing right now because I haven't
Making sure.
activated those. I also when I strike a creature, if it has psionic or psi-like powers, I do need that fortitude save.
All
The
right.
DC is the damage dealt, so it'd be 2 DCs of 33.
Oh, good. So I have to crit. Well, I failed on the first one, so.
Oh shit.
And well, there you go. All right.
I've stolen the ability, whatever it is, twice.
Of this creature, so you take, was it the psionic powers outright?
I think, let me just read. With psionic powers or psionic abilities, the target or lose access to its highest level psionic power for 10 rounds.
Okay.
And then I gain the ability to manifest the stolen power once, and then that power fades after 10 rounds. After which the target regains access to it. So I have it for 10 rounds.
Give me a moment. Let me pull that up for you. Because it would be. Let me make sure. Oops, sorry, my websites are finicky. There we go. Alright. You gain the amazing power. Where are you? There you are. Of Distract.
Oh. Okay.
Congratulations! That is the highest power I have available to me.
Let me see what this is. Oh my gosh. Wow. Whoa. This would suck if Dom had it on him because of the sense motive thing.
Uh-huh. Alright. As you manage to kind of punch into the creature, watching as your arm glitters and glows, the brains inside the slime kind of almost pulsating with purple magic, as you feel the power and your brain kind of expanding, the power of Distract coming through as you're mentally bombarded with the ability to activate this spell. Alright. Anything else you can do, Dom, or is that in your turn?
Hello?
Oh, did we lose you?
Yeah, as all randomly dropped. You started describing me stealing the power from the creature, and that was it.
Yes, as the purple brains inside your arm kind of begin to glow as they steal the power, your mind bombarded with the ability to activate and create this magical effect. Is there anything else you would like to do or can do?
I can do my wing graft for free, so I could just bluff it to get a bonus next time I hit it. And
Alright.
I think, yeah, so Dom punches this thing with his tentacle arm and, like, absorbs its powers, and just, as he spreads out his wings in this forge space, I don't even know if he has, like, the room to fully extend them. I don't know if the party can hear it outside. I think he just starts chuckling, and I think the chuckling grows more rapid, and I think Dom begins to, like, borderline maniacal laughter as he, like, cracks his knuckles and prepares to murder this goblin.
Works!
My bluff, I keep rolling 2s today, my man. This is bad. 13. for my
Hey,
bluff.
you beat me. So
Wow, 3!
there you go.
Crazy. So
Alright.
I get a bonus.
Yeah, as you dance around your wings kind of glittering as they do. Alright, the creature mesmerized by them as your turn ends, as it watches on. Back up to the top of the initiative. Eider, you're up.
Wahoo!
Mm-hmm. What would you like to do as you look on seeing a single one of these creatures in front of Kez and one behind him?
Gotcha. Yeah, just gonna keep hitting it.
Okay.
I don't feel like super like. I'm gonna say this now, and it's gonna fuck me later, but I don't feel like super threatened, so I want to conserve resources just in case something else weird happens.
No, that's fair. That's fair. See what you got.
So 1/,
That hits.
2/.
That hits.
Awesome. And then, oh shit, I rolled the wrong dice. I rolled a D8 instead of a
Get his
D10 last time.
Oh shit. Eider showing he's not just a pretty spell.
23 damage all total.
Alright, as you slash into the creature left and right, let me do my maths. How do you know you're a how do you know to spell a dungeon master in their 30s? Look for a TI-84 still by their computer. As you slash into the creature, you watch as it starts coughing up blood one after another. Give me another reflex, or give me 2 reflex saves, please.
Is there an effect that happens if I fail this?
Yes, you take full damage from the acid.
Got it. How much damage is the max? Because we could save
4.
ourselves. I've got 4. Okay, I've got 10 resistance to acid.
Ah, never mind then. Fair enough. Alright.
Yeah, I was like, we could just like, I think we could just ignore that.
No, fair enough, fair enough. As you feel the acid splatter onto you, kind of splashing your face, feeling the slight burn, but it not really doing anything as your skin is accustomed to it, rugged enough as is. Alright. As you slash into it one after another, does that end your turn, Eider?
Yep, that's both actions.
Perfect. Kiz, you are up, my man.
Which, so is the goblin thing that Eider fought was the one in between us, right?
In front of you, yeah. The one behind you is prone on the ground. Yep. And yet to be hit.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So that one's prone on the ground. The one that's in between us, how bad is it looking? Is it bloodied?
Yes, it's bleeding pretty heavily, and if it wasn't for the fact that Eider was acid immune, you can see he's getting covered in this creature's blood.
Okay.
Man's going almost full conquest as you're watching this happen.
Hey, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to go in. I'm gonna start hitting the guy that's prone. I don't
Okay.
need to worry about this guy.
Alright. Roll for crits to see if you hit, or see if you crit, as you'll auto hit either way because he is prone.
Not a crit.
Okay.
Alright. For damage, that's the other half of. That's one of the D100 dice, not what I wanted.
I mean, if you do a D100 worth of damage, I think your party is lacking.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, tell me about it. I wish I could do that much damage.
Right? I mean, you Rollman over here almost, man. Like, Jesus.
That is 11.
Oh,
Bludgeoning
Okay.
and 3 lightning.
Okay, so 14 in total. Alright. As you slam into him once, smacking your hammer upside the creature's head as it looks up at you, surprised, as unable to dodge as you slam and feel its head bounce off the ground, hitting into your hammer like a basketball. The creature looks up at you, slightly stunned as its eyes are kind of rolling about, a little bit of the electricity still causing its body to twitch a little bit.
Alright, sick. And, I haven't done my Death Domain ability in a hot minute.
Uh-huh.
Actually, probably since, the beginning. So I'm going to give it a shot,
Okay.
see what happens. Let me pull out all of the D4s I'm going to need.
Oh, no.
Sorry, D6s.
Oh, hold up now. We can talk about this.
Roll the
I mean-
caltrops.
I'll throw you
Don't worry.
James. Come on now.
No, I don't need caltrops. I need my D6s. Where's the other one?
Those are the same thing. Oh, D6s. Never mind. Please
Yeah,
ignore
not
it
D4s, my
works.
friend. Alright, but don't worry, I don't need to roll these D6s until I pass a touch attack.
Oh.
And which he's prone.
Yeah, which means he auto fails. You're just rolling for crit.
Yeah, I mean, the crit won't matter for this. And it's a 17, so wouldn't crit, but it doesn't really matter.
Hey, you would have
Alright,
hit his
so-
touch if it makes any difference to you.
That's fair. Alright, so let me read what I'm about to do.
Oh no.
So, we're going to do a fun little thing called Death Touch. It's
Gotcha.
a supernatural ability that
Mhm.
produces a death effect. I must succeed on a melee touch against a living creature, which I have just done. And now I will roll a d6 per cleric level that I possess. And if the total of this dice roll equals the current creature's hit points, the creature will die.
More or
There's no
just
save.
exactly?
Equals. So
Interesting.
if it if it has 20 hit points left and I get 20 or above, it's dead.
Okay, got you. Okay. So or above.
God
Okay, so
damn.
it's less than what you roll. Okay, got you.
Like finger
Mhm.
of death.
Yeah, no, I was making sure I understood. I was like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure that spell has more of a range than just exact. That would be a bitch if you had to get the number exact.
That would
well,
be
yeah,
the
the
most
total-
useless shit.
Yeah,
I
and
know.
the
Oh my
total
God.
Got
at
you.
least equals the
The
creature's
remaining
current
spell.
hit points.
Okay, got you. Okay.
All right. So let's see what we got here. All right, looking at all these 7 dice.
I'm just curious. Do some math real quick. Okay.
Math and our D&D campaign.
I got this TI-84 plus for a reason.
This would be 33. If it
Ah.
33 hit points.
And you're aiming for the one that's prone, correct?
Yes.
As you do, the spell has no effect.
Damn, he's got more than 33 hit points left.
Yeah, the one that fell prone wasn't hit that hard.
I know. I was just hoping that he didn't have as much health.
As you see, as you grab hold of the creature with your hand, feeling the magic pulse through you as you try to pump the effect in, the creature's veins beginning to blacken. And as the creature kind of looks up, shaking its head, you feel as the magic pulls back in you, the darkness in its body kind of pulling back in your hand and vanishing.
This would have been a kinder death. I'm sorry.
As he looks at his hammer and gets ready to smack this thing like a fly.
Too bad that was my second thing, so I'm gonna have to wait till the next time around.
Yeah. As you look down, Kez, contemplating, prepping yourself as you get ready for a gruesome battle.
You see, my face just looks sorrowful, but not for my failure, but for the fact that his death is going to be far more painful than it needed to be. I'm sorry for this creature.
Fair enough. The creature, the one that is now behind you that Eider has been smacking into is up. And he is going to try and make a smack at Eider. If I can crit 4 times, that'd be fantastic. Well, I got one crit. I assume 22 doesn't hit.
Nope.
Yeah, no. Okay, let me just confirm the crit. Nope. And I assume
Crit didn't hit.
Huh? Well, yeah, no. That's exactly the problem. Alright, so as it gets its one attack, I swear, there's something cool about these creatures. If I can just hit you more than once, you take 5 points of piercing damage.
I take 0.
Yeah, I figured as much. God damn it. As it ends its turn. The next one up is the one that is prone. It is. I'm just gonna double check. Is it full movement or is it your full action to stand up? I can never remember.
It's a move
That was
action to
half.
stand up.
Yeah, it's just a move action. I think it's half your movement to get up.
I believe.
Well,
you're...
it's a move action, so it's like all of your movement to stand
Yeah.
up.
Oh, your movement, 3.5, yeah.
It also
Yeah.
provokes.
Yes. No, I'm familiar with that.
Oh.
I was more telling Kez to get ready.
Yes, the creature is going to use its movement and stand up, so Kez, go ahead and get your opportunity attack in. Let's see what you can do, buddy. Can you hit me?
25.
Fuck, you can hit me. Yep, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, dice, don't stay
No.
where I tell you to. Alright. 9 bludgeoning and use this dice for lightning damage. 3 lightning damage. It's just been 3 lightning damage over and over again.
He stands up and you just have to smack him with the hammer, trying to get him to go back down as the creature takes the hit, standing as the 8-tooth goes flying off to the side of the path as it looks at you with anger in its eyes, trying to make a raspberry sound with its tongue, but seemingly having difficulty now. Alright. Let's see. The beast standing up, taking the hit. It is going to go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and feed your cats. You're good. And he's going to go ahead and take on goddamn motherfucker Kazanok. As I get 4 of these per attack. Kaz, does a 22 hit your AC?
No.
Shit.
Oh.
As the creature's claws easily bounce off of you without issue, and as it angrily sticks its tongue up, trying in desperation to make a sound. Alright. As it ends its turn, the next one is up to attack Dome, and it is going to pretty much do so. Alright. And in total, since I ain't going to be going anywhere, we're going after you completely, Dome. Oh, shit. Well, Dom, I don't think I hit you once.
No, those are. Oh my gosh, I feel bad for those rolls.
As the creature tries slashing at you with the intimidation, blood kind of flowing down its face, you can see it's paling and woozy as it's like drifting from side to side like a drunken fighter as it tries to claw at you.
Dom's not even like majorly dodging. He's just like. He moves his legs slightly out of the way. He leans back. He like slightly moves aside. He's just like staring this thing down, like subtly moving his body to dodge, but like otherwise it's just like locked in on his target.
As you do so, the claws missing one after another. Dom, you are up.
Oh. It's time. Let me see if there's anything fancy I can do before I just smash it to death. I've already sucked its power. This doesn't do anything for this. Could soul warp it, but that feels a little excessive. Yeah, I'm just gonna punch it. I'm just gonna flurry of blows it, because you know, all my other stuff's kind of more useful if this was an enemy with a weapon or, you know, some other fact of the matter, but it's just a bleeding goblin.
Yep, goblinoid,
A bloody goblin.
Okay, alright, let's see what you got.
The first one to hit is a 27.
That hits. You might want to roll damage before you keep going.
Well, I already did say flurry of blows for the first. So,
That's fair.
But, you know, I can roll the damage first just to...
Let's see what you got.
And I think, I will say, the reason Dom isn't deploying his claws isn't meta, like, acid. It's that he potentially wants to, like, pummel this thing to death with blunt force only.
Oh, you know, hey.
A pure hate crime. He is just mad. And then my 1d6 plus 2. Doesn't really matter what order those are in, so I'm just gonna roll a 35.
Well, as you go to angrily getting ready to and working yourself up into the swing, feeling the sweat dripping down your back as your muscles kind of begin to expand. As you punch forward, the first of the creatures drops as it falls over cold as you clock it straight in the nose. It leans back, its eyes rolling back, and the body goes still as you look down and see a full exposed skull where your hand hit.
Can I use my second flurry of blows attack that I would have done? And
What's your reach?
To just say, it's 15 feet.
Technically, with where Kez is, yes, you can swing at the creature that is in front of Kez.
I was gonna keep punching the dead one.
If you want to do that too, feel free.
Can Dom, like a horror movie, just his arm emerge from the forge, and I just like try to grab this thing to like crush its throat.
I don't picture
That
horror
the
movie. I
flavor
still
of my
picture
death.
like a 90s Cartoon Network parent that doesn't get drawn, but we only see a boot kicking the kid out of the house, basically. But yeah, go ahead.
What's more terrifying if not that?
Truly.
So
Hey.
that will be okay. That one's probably gonna miss. So that's only a 15.
15 does miss as you go to swing. The creature, looking off the side of one of its eyes, and immediately dodging for it as the fist goes forward, as it smacks itself slightly against Kez's hammer, and kind of looks back.
Well, good news, since it's in my reach and I haven't moved, I get 2 more attacks with my second flurry of blows. So
Gotcha. Let's see what you got.
that's a 20, not natural,
That hits.
and that is a 26.
That also hits. See what you can
wait,
do.
not 26. Sorry, that would be a 16. I
Ah.
mega math that wrong.
16 does not hit.
Okay, so just the one.
Yep.
That's fine. Oh wait, I forgot I've been getting +2s on all these attacks. Would an 18 have
No,
hit?
18 would not hit.
Okay, I didn't think so. Unless I'm not flanking with Kez, am I?
Technically, with a wall between the two of you, no, not exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't think so. So 1d8. So the one next to Kez is getting a nice crisp 30. I'm rolling
Oof.
some low dice on this.
As you smack into it, you hear as its skull kind of bouncing off of the hammer of Kez as it slams into your fist again. As you hit it as hard as you can, the back of the creature's skull kind of bleeding as you pull back, feeling something on your hands. Good.
As Dom reaches like through the portal, he's just gonna say in Draconic for those who speak. I don't think the goblins understand it, but he's just trying to speak in a language that they'll perceive as scary. I assume Draconic sounds like the noises a dragon would kind of make. So he just says in Draconic, like, "Come here, I have some heads to take," and it's just trying to be like ominous.
Yeah. As you say
know
this,
if you-
kind of looking at the creature, it does not register at all what you're saying.
It's not scared at all.
Its
Oh,
eyes stare
fair enough.
blankly at you.
Damn it.
Uh,
Wait, it's that you say it stares blankly at me?
Yes, correct.
Does it look at my eyes?
It's fear immune, if you're asking.
Damn it. I keep keeping my ears peeled for whatever
Hey,
you described.
good
that.
try,
No,
good
it's
try.
immune.
Yep.
I have a
I'll
que-
get you
actually-
one of these days.
Yeah.
I do have a question. As these creatures, because these creatures like are making like grunts and sounds, right?
Correct.
Like as they're doing it,
Mhm.
like a primitive communication amongst each other.
You might call it that, sure.
Is the language perhaps primitive?
I can confirm it is not a language that they're speaking.
Okay.
They are literally just making noises, and I will send you the sheet afterwards to explain, and you'll understand why.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yep.
I know why.
The creature does not speak, unfortunately, whatsoever. But as Dom kind of slams into it, looking at it, waiting for its eyes to kind of glow with fear, the creature seems unbothered and unfazed. Alright. Dom, does that end your turn?
Oh yeah. I
Perfect.
could bluff this one, I guess.
You
Might
can
as
try.
well.
Yeah, alright. Let's
If,
see.
given the +0 last time, I have piece of faith.
4.
Well, even my dice roll alone beats that, so yeah.
There you go. As you kind of watch as your wings glitter and flutter about as the creature kind of watches you. Alright. As the top of the initiative, Eider, my good friend, you are up. The creature is still standing.
Yeah, for how long? About how fucked up does he look?
He is definitely bleeding from the mouth and cut up pretty good from what you can see. You're getting into this guy pretty well.
Getcha. Does not seem like he's on death's door just yet, though.
Not yet. No, not as bad as the one that Dom just kind of put a hole in the face of.
And I just kind of like sigh, reach out and like touch a bitch.
Ooh, okay.
And well, it's technically lower.
My touch AC is pretty good, try me.
Mhm.
See what you can do. Shit.
20 touch IC.
Ah! I was close! No! So much work in preparation. Yeah, that hits.
Go.
Let's see what you can do.
Watch out.
Ooh! Well, what is this? What is this effect exactly, Ida?
I'm just blasting him with cold.
Ah, okay, perfect. As you kind of reach out with the other hand, kind of grabbing hold of him, you feel as the iciness kind of pops or begins to flow from your hand as the body freezes solid and the creature looks on at you with complete confusion as its limbs stop moving and begin to crack as they fall off, and the creature finally succumbs to the ice, becoming solid as a rock, unable to move.
Hell yeah.
All right, one left. All right, Eider, as you watch the creature kind of looking at it for a moment as an ice statue, not moving, the creature is still behind, or that is facing Kez, kind of behind you now for reference. It's still standing. What would you like to do?
But how far away is it?
About roughly a 5-foot step forward for you to be within reach. Well, do you have 10 foot or do you have 5-foot reach?
Oh, 5 foot reach.
Yeah, so it'd be a 5-foot step forward.
Yeah, 5 foot step forward.
Okay. All right, let's go on.
And we will try to not kill it, actually.
Oh no. Let's see what you got. 12? Well, don't worry. You, with your caution and concern, you daintily kind of try to grab the creature, and it seems to seeing you with its round eyes all around its skull, seeing what happened to the other creature, jumps away from you immediately out of fear. And somehow you've inspired fear into a creature that was fear immune. All right, is that end your turn, Eider?
Yeah, that's both actions.
Perfect. Kez, you are up.
I'm going to use a fun spell and touch attack this remaining creature.
All right. What do you got? Let's see.
That is a 16 touch.
Ah, you just barely meet. So you do hit.
Oh, thank God. All right. Well, it's time for 3d12 frostburn damage.
Wait a minute. Suddenly you don't hit. Go away. No.
I changed my mind.
I don't like this.
All right. 31 frostburn damage, which I think is just frost.
All right, Kez, how would you like to finish this?
I guess I essentially kind of want to just grab onto him, lean in, and just go, and just blow, essentially just kind of like Superman ice freeze his ass.
Yeah, as you kind of grab hold of the creature, it struggles swiping at your armor with its claws the best as it can. As you take a deep breath in, it looks on at you in confusion as it stops moving for a second, thinking that you're about to do something strange. The creature watches you with curiosity as you blow, and suddenly a cold air covers the creature, freezing it almost solid as it starts to panic, jerking in your hand, trying to escape the ice as it fully begins to encompass it, and you feel as the body goes cold and still as it stops moving.
A far worse death than I wanted to give you. I am sorry.
Kez says as he slowly sets the creature down, gently trying not to crack any more of the parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
As you do, you notice the forest goes quiet. The illusions seem to have kind of vanished all entirely. And as you look about all around you all, you're standing at the edge of a beach. And at the center of that beach, what looks to be a strange-looking, shadowy statue kind of stands there. But the beasts that you've slain still lay at your feet as you look about.
Golden time?
I conveniently shoved them into the forge.
You just as Kez and Dom are kind of like suddenly taken aback by the armor as Dom kind of steps out. They're just in the background quickly sweeping up the bodies into the forge and shoving them in, kicking one arm in as he closes the door and goes to gape with the rest of the party.
But recycle, reuse, reduce.
Yeah.
Reduce,
God.
reuse, recycle.
It's like
I guess we're here.
it's like Roger Rabbit back in the day.
How many
but
more days did we have?
as you look up, Kez, you're not sure how long you've been traveling for. It's kind of unclear. It's starting to come out to be nighttime as you look out, though.
Are we still in initiative?
You are not.
Either from
Alright.
that little outcropping that we were at to now, how long should that have taken us?
Like consult the map.
Yeah.
As you do you have a knowledge geography by chance?
Yeah.
Can you roll that for me, please?
Sure.
As far as I know, it's been 2 days since we've been there.
32.
32. As you take a moment looking at it, it only should have been about a few days, a week at most, 8, 9. But as you look about on the map where you're at right now, this should have taken you maybe 60, about roughly 60 days, maybe 70 days to get here. As you look out and see the depiction exactly of the beach, according to what as you look at the map.
I was like, oh no.
It's just weird.
Yeah. I started like trying to like tell like this. I get together with like the wisdom based characters and attempt a mass survival check to check out what time of year it is.
Yeah, give me go ahead, each of you, and give me a roll real quick, Dom and Kaz. Give me a survival check.
You said survival? Okay. I
Group
love that.
survival check at 9
Group
o'clock.
survival.
Mm-hmm.
Every night we gotta do our group survival check. That's a 25 for me.
Okay.
I did my part.
23.
All right.
Hey.
As the three of you try to figure out, you realize it's roughly around March, April-ish. It's not January anymore. As the sun is out, it's kind of warm as you feel the 70-ish degrees. And you, Kaz, Eider, and Dom, you'd put this at about roughly maybe end of March, maybe early April.
This is
the
usually
last
phase
60 days.
bullshit. This is like
Oh.
this is normally a phase MO, right?
Correct.
But those weren't Fae.
Correct.
At least I don't think they were. So what the fuck just happened?
We just got warped in time?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem like we lost time, come to think of it. As I like start doing like
Did
the mental
we-
math.
As you start doing the mental math, though, it seems almost as if everything sped up around you.
We moved quicker?
I really need to investigate those fucking things. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Here, I'll come with you.
The creepy
Let's
ass
take a dissect.
7 foot tall solid coral golem standing in the middle of the
Yeah.
beach looking at you lot basically. No, I'm gonna go look in the forest. Give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Just give us a second. Hold the plot line. Let's get some things clear first.
This is like some
Tom
old-ass
was
cartoon.
nervously watching the statue. Is it taller than I am?
It is only from this distance. Looks to be about 7 foot tall, roughly. Dom Nender.
Oh, I'm way taller.
Mm-hmm.
I have
I
like
glare at the statue.
I have a paranoid delusion that if I let the time-bending fucking monster out of my sight for more than 5 seconds, the DM is going to magically disappear them.
As you go to open the
I
door,
hid in my
hurriedly
bag
looking
of
in.
preservation.
As Dom's kind of like worriedly looking between you, Eider, and the golem, kind of watching. Kaz following after you as you two go like head up. As you open the door, the creatures are still laying there, completely dead, unmoving. 2 of them solid frozen. One, you can see that where Dom kind of mashed their skull against the floor a little bit.
I was half expecting that
And all
upon
the-
not observing them, they just aged like 1 billion years.
like goddamn Schrodinger's monsters.
Schrodinger's corpse.
You watch for a moment, Kaz looking at them, kind of eyeing them up and down suspiciously. Nothing seems to happen, thankfully, as the corpses continue to lay there. Their greenish blood kind of draining onto the fortress floor.
All right, Dom, go ahead and put these in the bag. These seem like they might be really fucking important. Really, really
I guess
important.
Dom is still watching the statue, but I'll open up the bag of preservation, and since the ring isn't in there, I shouldn't summon any meat zombies.
Yep, no. As you kind of open it up, and Eider kind of walks over, starts picking up the ice cubes, shoving them in. Kaz kind of grabbing one as well as he helps out. As you get the three of them in there quite quickly and look on, they seem to go in quite without issue. But as you look down, Dom and Kez, give me a spot check.
Yippee! That'll poor rolls again. 14.
Yeah, same.
14, okay.
15. Hey.
Nice. As you both look, Eider seems different as you look at him. Not odd, but he looks like his beard's a little thicker, his hair's a little longer. Looks a little more mature as you kind of look him up and down.
Does he look like his dad?
Not exactly, but a bit closer to it.
He looked like his
Yes.
uncle.
I'm aged. No.
By 60 days.
Eider, as you kind of see Kez and Dom looking at you up and down, they seem to be kind of staring at your face slightly as they see a few more gray hairs than they're supposed to be as they notice your beard a little bit longer as you kind of finish putting these things away.
Dom,
Better. How old do you feel?
Or like start doing squats to determine if I've discovered age penalties yet or not.
Good news, there are no age penalties as nothing seems to make any noise.
Alright, sick.
Older, but not old.
Alright, then we won't worry about it.
Alright.
I'd say, back to the plot, yeah, guys?
Yeah.
As Kez looks the side of his eye towards the beach and towards the large
Should we-
imposing golem.
not be more worried about if that time jump stuff affected whatever we're about to face as
Well,
well,
it's-
or
It's
We've
literally right
kind
in
of-
front of us, so we can't do much about that.
I mean, to be
Mhm.
fair, we've popped out at the time that we were going to arrive here anyways.
Also, we were
It's
like
like-
viewing weird prophetic dreams of like quasi reality, so like all bets are off on this
Mhm.
weirdness.
alright,
Just
we'll worry
another
about that later.
just another Isla de Zebro thing.
Is that a new term you're coining?
Isla de Zebro. Yep. It's like deja vu, but weirder.
It's deja fucked.
Okay. All right now. As you
Deja vu.
kind of look about and taking a moment and looking towards the golem, it seems to kind of stare at you. Its beady eyes kind of gleaming a bright red in coloration as it does. As the creature's kind of heavily coraled body seems to glimmer under the sunlight that is the sun setting, the waves seemingly kind of coming up on it. It looks, as you realize, almost like an older and angrier looking version of Raider.
Huh. Question,
Speak to it.
Ryder. Where does that dragon blood trail lead us to?
Oh shit, we didn't get to check that.
As you go ahead and give me your spellcraft check real quick.
Spellcraft, don't fuck me now.
Please get that one.
Just not one. It's like, well, all right then.
That's the
26.
game. 26? Okay. As you look out, you do notice that the stuff, what looks to be the light is glimmering down the pathway towards the coral golem, but seems to stop short about 5 feet in front of it and then seems to dive straight down into the sand.
Is this thing just guarding whatever the fuck we're supposed to find?
Yarg, there'd
As-
be buried treasure in the sand.
Kez, or as Eider says this kind of laughingly as he stares at the coral golem and then at the sand in the glimmering light.
So, do you have
Alright.
enough autonomy to hear us, or are you just kind of there?
The body does not move.
Maybe try
Uh,
speaking to it in Abyssal like the Tritons speak.
Don't know that one.
I look at Kaz.
Give me a moment as I've entirely forgotten all of the languages that I know.
I'm
just
pretty
after-
Sure you listed Abyssal
No.
on it, didn't you?
I know Infernal's one of them, but give me one moment.
Or Primordial? What was it? Abyssal or
I
Primordial?
Primordial is one of them.
I forget which one Raider spoke.
I know Aquan, but Primordial is like got. I feel like what Primordial is kind of like what all of the elemental languages like into
Combined,
one weird. Yeah,
It's like a
combined
common
language.
tongue, if you will, for
Yeah,
the different.
it's yeah, it's common for the primordials, you
For
know,
the
the
elementals.
elemental races.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll I in primordial,
Mm-hmm.
I will see if I can get a reaction of this golem and ask him, why do you stand here?
The body kind of rigidly begins to crack, and you see as movement amongst the body, the muscles and the arms and the limbs begin to slightly shift and show. The eyes beginning to glimmer as it seems to lock eyes with you, and looks at you, Keznanok, and goes, in Primordial, you do not have the blood. One with the blood must arrive. All else will be exterminated.
What a what?
Who has the blood? He says it in. Do you know primordial too?
Yeah.
Well,
Only Dom's out.
As Kez looks down at Eider, suddenly realizing this, yeah. Yeah,
I
what
learned
was,
it the hard way too.
yeah, what was that question, Kez?
who has the blood?
Golem looks at you and continues with its blank stare and goes, the one with the blood has the blood. The one with the blood will lead to the change. Otherwise, all will be exterminated.
And in common, I'll start talking to my buddies again. Say as a quick reminder of what the job is again, just to clarify.
Oh, we gotta kill it.
You were
Yeah.
told exactly by the party or by Vale. I'm just pulling it up here real quick.
Yeah, so I don't know if we're supposed to
Yeah.
slay it
And
or
finally-
bring it back, or
Finally, a creature
Needs
has
the
washed up
core.
on my shores. I ask you to kill it,
Mhm.
bring me its core, and you may keep the rest and give you armor that should protect your party from the worst of the blows. Should the worst come to pass, I believe once you have completed the 3 tasks, the job shall be easier for you to succeed. Which is to
Also,
imply
this
you do
thing-
not have to kill it if you choose not to.
This thing is guarding a underground chamber, which means we have to be careful of the ground because it's unstable in this area, and we're likely to
Well-
fall in.
well, we don't know if it's a chamber.
Well, no, we were outright told it's above an underground chamber. I have that in
Yeah.
my notes.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
like it's above an underground chamber. Also, the dragon light is leading below it.
I will also note for Kez and
Mhm.
Dom, as you look over, this is the area where you had previously seen old Sir Sparkly climb out of the ground and just vanish.
Sick.
Like how I like struck my like now slightly more wizened beard and say, if I ask you if I have the blood, will you tell me or will you attack me?
One who has the blood knows that they do. I do not declare such. I am programmed to only recognize it.
Well, he
Alright,
did
I have
declare
the
that I
blood.
didn't have. He also already declared that I didn't have the blood, so that in itself was a lie.
I am programmed to tell only the truth and lies when needed.
I'm just kind of like start stepping forward. I like cycle my spellfire real fast, charge it back up to full, and then like start stepping forward. It's like, all right, well, do I have the blood or not?
As you take a step forward, do you step onto the beach?
Where are we not already on the beach?
No,
Yeah,
not
but
fully.
we're-
No, you're like I said, it was coming into the alcove of the beach itself. Yeah, coming onto it, so it's still enough dirt over here yet to not be counted. As you
Solid.
walk down onto it, yeah. As you do, you hear the coral golem begin to move, its body beginning to crack about as stone moves, and the golem seems to react, beginning to prepare itself to attack. As we will end session there. As the creature raises its arm and a crystal begins to glow from the end of it. Alright, we thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you on the next one, where we will see
Quite a
what
lot
the
of
party gets up
blood.
to.